Mackie?
Wait, it's just this is extra. Fuck this.
No, we did this once before. It was terrible.
Yeah, you guys did a musical and everything.
I know.
It was garbage.
It was the worst.
Garbage.
Oh, hey, Internet. We just always come in mid-conversation.
We sure do. On the dumbest joke possible.
Back on our bullshit.
Hey,
once again.
BJ's here.
Hey.
Hey,
Oh.
BJ's got a beverage.
Hot diggity damn.
I should compose a tweet. I totally forgot.
Whoops.
Nobody knows we're here.
Oh.
Boing.
Unless they rang that bell, like and subscribe. Am I right? Okay.
Dong that, dong
Okay.
that bell, Snizzmasters.
Snizzmaster.
That's what we're calling our fans from now on. Snizzmasters. Like and snizzscribe. Yeah, Snizzmasters. Oh no, I hit the thing on a new tab.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow. Guys.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
We're a morning show now.
That's what happens when you start rolling, man.
We were so calm and tranquil.
Comedy
2
just
minutes
comes out, and I still need to write this tweet.
I got comedy coming out my pores.
Still need to write this tweet.
And then when we start the podcast for real, then we will
We're
get
like
silent.
so serious.
Ding. Tonight, we conclude Force Majeure with a little something from the director of Hologram Man. It's 1994's To Force.
Are you seriously still New Year Who Dis?
Yeah, somehow.
Almost July.
Yeah. Mackie complained about how often I changed my my display name. So
Yeah, I remember this being the new joke. Fine, I'm just going to change it all. New Year, who dis?
change it once a year,
Fuck all y'all.
whether I need it or not.
Tweet.
Oh no, tweet.
Boing.
Zippity doo dah. Oh, what the hell? What have you?
I guess Mackie's not on the Twitter anymore, really, so I can change it however often I want.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
I mean, he wouldn't get notified anyway because
Yeah.
that notification thing is just fucked.
It is. Totes fucked.
It's a good thing they keep breaking all the third-party apps that work because like
Yeah.
their site's just glorious at this point.
Yeah, my favorite part about Twitter's official app is if I am behind on tweets, which I usually am, and I hit the show new tweets, it just zips me all the way up to the most recent tweet.
Yep, forget about where you were.
Go from 16 days ago to 1 minute ago.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's probably what's best. Or just
No.
do what I do. Don't go to Twitter at all.
I want to read. I follow people that I like, so I want to see their tweets, and I am not allowed to by Twitter. Thanks, fuck asses.
I follow who I like too. That's why I'm not on Twitter anymore. I don't like anyone.
Okay, I get the joke
You
now.
can just follow us.
Nah.
He
All right.
doesn't like us.
Yeah.
That's true.
Who
Most of
would?
all, Scarecrow.
Most of all, Scarecrow, you're a fuck ass. Hi,
I'm
fuck ass is the
kidding.
word
I
for the
don't
night,
care.
apparently.
Okay.
I just don't care.
Hey, I have a question.
Hey, question.
I was going to save it for a second half if we didn't have anything to talk about, but since we do,
Okay.
I'm going to ask it now.
All right.
This is a question from BMFcast past.
Smooth.
Totally Blonde?
Uh-huh.
The fuck did you watch that for?
It was suggested to us by Amy? Was her name Amy? Listener Amy.
Dude, I don't fucking know. It's one of those fuck asses.
So it was like her favorite movie. She was like, I know this is terrible, and
Totally Blonde.
you're gonna make me go like look up.
No, I don't. I'm just asking for recollections. You don't. I was just.
I don't remember.
I
a single
apologize
thing
if she's still listening, and she's listening now. But I think her name is Amy, and I don't know how to go look at that.
Okay.
Well, because like Twitter's a mess, and I
Yep.
don't know if she follows us anymore. And
Was it a Twitter recommendation?
I think she wrote it as an email.
Okay.
I thought we talked about it.
Okay.
We used to do that. Like when when it was a recommendation, we at some point, either during the episode or in the second half, we'd be like, "Hey, we did this because this was suggested," and it was a guilty pleasure. And she was like, "I
no
know it's
results in the email.
And
Hopefully we
it's-
didn't delete it.
terrible." That lady that was dating George Clooney, I think, for a period of time.
Amy was dating.
No,
George
it was. I mean, hopefully, I don't know. Good for her. She was. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Clooney? Okay.
Let's see if I can search.
I just sometimes I'm trying to
I'm
fill
so-
in gaps in our
I'm so
library.
bad with names. I'm so bad with names that I honestly don't recall.
Okay. I just, for whatever reason, my eyes would always just not pay attention to that movie, and I saw it on the list, and I was like,
It was Amy.
totally blonde. Why? Is it a rip? Is it a rip off of Legally Blonde?
I think it was, trying to play into that, but it has nothing. It's like not
It just stars a
plot-wise.
blonde lady.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Who's totally blonde.
She was like a. I don't remember if she was like a. Can't remember if she was like a Playboy centerfold or like some kind of like model who I think was
/ actress.
it was
Okay.
like hooked up with George Clooney at some point in time.
All right.
I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just was
There's a
wondering what the story
backstory.
was there.
Yeah.
It is an odd. I mean, I know we have odd dips into strange genres, but that
Sure.
seems like a not BMFcast. But it was early, so
Yeah, I mean, it was like at that point we were like, hey, we actually had a recommendation. Let's just fucking do it, like right now. Like, what's stopping us?
let's just do this.
Then we were just like, then we got all like picky, and we were like, nah, your recommendation.
Amy ruined it for everyone.
No, not because of that. I'm saying like now it's just like we're just like, nah, we have a stack of movies. Like,
We literally do.
we will take your recommendation and put it in the queue.
Krista Allen.
Ooh.
I was pretty sure there's some connection with her. And
Oh,
George Clooney.
based on our first female caller to the BMFcast hotline.
There you go. Not only that, she called the Garfield line.
Nice.
Yep.
That I can understand the precedent that would have taken. Like, holy shit, we should.
Well, I think at that point we were.
lady.
I think we no. I think we were amazed because we were all like dick and fart jokes, and we were like, a lady's listening to us. Holy shit, we should like be better.
Yes, I'm still consistently amazed when a lady shows up and is just like, "Hi, I like
Yeah.
the show." I'm like, "Oh, have you listened to the show?
And we're awful.
Do you just like the logo?"
She said on November 26th, 2015, that we are delightful human beings.
Oh,
So
okay.
That's recent. I mean,
Yeah.
comparatively speaking.
okay. Well, that's lovely.
I'm glad to still be delightful. I hope we're still delightful.
hopefully we are still a comfort thing, Amy.
I would hope so. I hope you're still there.
If you're
Amy,
listening.
even though we've never met.
What you want to do?
It's even spelled correctly for that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
It's
If she wrote it in
AIME?
2015, obviously
AIME.
I did
Oh,
not
a little
ruin
bit
the
different.
show for her.
I'm pretty sure the Pure Prairie League is just AIME. It's a
Is it?
weird, really weird spelling of it.
AIME, AME.
Oh, no, it's AMIE. Yeah,
AIME,
damn it.
yeah.
Never- Well,
Close enough.
Fuck it.
Close enough.
Fuck it.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Thanks, Amy, for that recommendation and this topic of conversation.
Yeah, I was super curious.
Yeah, I think at that point we're just like, holy shit, we're all dick and fart jokes, and
There's a lady
yeah.
listening.
Oh, we gotta fucking.
Let's cater to the lady.
The tipping of film choices intensifies.
That's why we watched all those Nicholas Sparks movies in 2009.
I did that for me.
Yeah, sparks.
I like it when, like, the guy is dying. Or the lady's dying.
Right.
Somebody's dying in a Nicholas Sparks.
Who's got
that's
the
all.
will?
Jesus Christ, that's I can't. I'm sad that I got that reference. I'm upset at myself that I got that reference.
No, you love it.
Christ.
References.
Yeah.
Ha.
Is that a Kirk Douglas movie?
No,
Uh,
you're thinking of Greedy.
Am I? Okay,
Yeah.
same probably thing.
I think the Goot's in that.
The goat.
You know, the guy who stars with Bruce Willis now. In
Oh, right.
movies.
P.S. that your cat is dead. Who's got the will? Starring the goat.
Oh no,
Nobody?
fucking Bo Bridges and Keith Carradine and
Oh.
Judge Reinhold. That's who I was thinking of.
Sure, yeah. Oh, Judge Reinhold. Yeah. That's who I was thinking of.
Judge Reinhold.
Never. Literally never.
We should watch Judge
Unless you
Reinhold
happen to be
movies.
watching Beverly Hills Cop. And you're like, Judge Reinhold. I was just thinking that.
Hey. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wait, did our iTunes?
Did I say Lethal Weapon? Or I say Beverly Hills Cop? I meant Beverly Hills Cop. I might have said
You said
Lethal
Beverly
I
Weapon.
haven't
Okay,
looked
good.
at iTunes
What's
in
wrong with
600
iTunes?
years.
What?
What's happening?
What happened?
Evan said, by the way, congrats on getting 5 stars on iTunes. Ooh, we're 4.8.
Shit.
Well,
That's 5.
Are we new and notable?
No.
Did we do it? Now that they've killed iTunes forever?
That's right. iTunes is actually going away, isn't
Yeah.
it?
They're splitting it into 3
yeah.
separate apps.
Now we could be new and notable on the new podcast app.
Right.
That isn't new at all.
No.
Can we get on? I mean, Spotify is dumb for having podcasts, but can we put our?
I looked
we did.
into it. I don't.
It's a waiting list, isn't it? Or was that the Google thing? What did I fill out a document for?
Well, let me just pull up Spotify and see if we show up.
All right. We're on Stitcher.
Whoa. Yeah. We sure are.
It's a relevant app for your relevant mobile
You know,
devices.
if you want to be listening to us and just periodically have an ad in the middle of us talking.
Yeah. That doesn't benefit us in any way.
Brought to you by
Ads.
something. Mattress in a bag.
Why the fuck are we on Last FM?
Why not?
Last FM?
Yeah,
Because we got Scrabble?
We Scrabble, yo.
apparently.
As much as we talk about Scrabble, they're like, oh, shit.
No, we are
But
not.
we're on like Italian Last FM.
Oh, hey.
Mostri il tuo sostegno
Last
con una che
FM.
Last FM premium. Our E.T. Bone Home
Yes.
episode is on
Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
BMFcast 285.
We're
One
we're also the worst
ascoltatore.
people because we just all immediately start.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just
Oh,
anytime
you
you,
know.
think that we're actually decent people,
Yeah.
just watch us do
Nah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
an accent for a particular country.
They're safe to make fun of. The Italians.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
We're making fun of fascist Italians.
Right. Yeah.
Ah, the trains, they run on time.
Hey,
E.T.
with
phone
the-
home.
Hey.
Hey, look at me hanging in the square. Oh.
Yes.
Hello, Matt and Antonio. I'm sorry that we are immediately being casually racist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
First time I've seen you.
Hola to you, sir.
Buenos dias.
Buenos ding dong diddly dias, Senor Simpson.
Did you just go full Ned Flanders does Spanish?
No, that was Ned Flanders' Spanish like cousin or something from one episode of.
So sorry, Matt.
They had like the whole like a Flanders reunion or something,
okay.
and there was a Spanish.
There was
Flanders.
a Spanish Flanders, which is
And he's-
delicious.
Yeah, and he said Buenos ding dong diddly dias.
that is
Senor Simpson.
Flanders.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Spanish.
Otra vez, Flanders.
So terrible. Why am I watching this?
Ned Flanders' Spanish cousin. There it is.
Right.
Jose Flanders.
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 Flanders. If you're from
No,
Barcelona.
from Barcelona. No, I'm from Ibiza.
Ibiza?
Ibiza. The
I
rains
believe
on the
it's Bill in
plains
the right
fall
region.
baby. Must be.
Took a bill in Ibiza.
I like when we break Chuck when he's just like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know.
What's happening?
I can't laugh anymore.
How did this happen? We were just talking about ladies, and then all of a sudden,
We're all fucking punchy for this
we are.
movie. Yeah.
We're punchy.
I think we were this punchy when we saw Hologram Man too. I believe
That
just
movie
came in.
also deserved that level
I
of
think, I think
punchiness.
we were just like, oh fuck, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Movies are nuts.
So the debate is on tonight. So
Oh.
instead of watching that, watch us.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
to the,
8 of you
to the
are
people
here.
that are watching.
Yes, watch us.
Oh, watch us.
Thank you for
Well,
reminding them the
don't
debate
tune
is on,
away.
and they're like, "Oh shit, I'm missing it."
Like what debate? Like for
The first 10 Democratic candidates are
the
debating
fuck?
tonight.
It's
I
that's
know.
That's a long time.
We've got to narrow the field. There's
I-
too many of these fuckers.
Fair, well said, I guess.
We got to get rid of the foreskin guy. And
What? Wait. What? The foreskin guy?
Yeah.
There's the foreskin guy.
the foreskin.
Yeah, there's a guy who wants to like outlaw like circumcisions.
Yeah.
Like period.
Honestly,
Periods too.
Oh, yes. No more periods, ladies. Sorry.
Sorry, ladies.
Exclamation points only.
Really?
Everything's just gonna be yelling from now on.
Well,
it's going to be yelling, or it's going to be a question.
Oh, it's like California.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need periods.
no.
Okay.
No.
Right. All right, let's do this fucking thing. here.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What number are we on? The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan today. Buenos ding dong diddly dias, Senor Simpson.
They're coming from the inside.
You're coming in through the back door. Save the children.
Okay,
that
I'm
one got
broken now. I'm just fucking broken. Give me a minute.
Hey, look, that was funny because we spent $35
Yeah.
to see that in the theater. That's why that was so funny.
Honestly,
Oh, is that Anchorman 2?
Yes.
It's kind of the funniest part of that movie.
It was like the first 5 minutes of Anchorman 2 where we were so fucking high on the fact that we spent a combined total of $70.
but we got digital copies.
We did, yeah, and a poster.
Sweet posters and I believe a
Swosters.
cutout mustache.
Yes, we got a fake mustache that we could
cutout
put on.
mustache.
Uh-huh.
Which I believe still adorns my sill in there. Window variety of sill.
I do not believe that we are on Spotify.
No, we'll have to work on that.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
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 We should get on that other podcast app that everybody hates.
Uh,
The new one that charges money.
oh,
Harumph.
harumph indeed.
All right, let's do this.
Like that shirt, by the way. It's cool.
It's
I don't know why-
comfortable.
I
It's
don't-
soft as
I
shit.
don't know why it's in spooky font, but I'll take it.
It was in honor of Spooky Pinball. Whatever spooky table, the Munsters table, I think.
Oh, okay.
We each have one.
Where'd you get it?
Jack's Pinball.
Oh, nice. Retro. VIP?
No, they were on a table.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
We
just,
just took
it's
it.
a little shop. It says little shop at games on the back. It's
Yeah,
it's
okay.
from their shop.
It's comfortable as shit.
Yeah, it's soft. It's supple. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast. Check
Yeah.
us out.
Wow.
Look at us on the podcast.
It's episode 472.
nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that a weed number?
I don't know.
Could be. Do you want it to be?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay,
All
then
right.
it
All
is.
right. Weed number.
I did that for you.
Thanks.
Blaze it. So I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And
No Mackie?
yeah, no Mackie.
No Mackie.
There's no Mackie.
No
Slappy Mackie.
But you know what we do each and every episode of this here podcast is?
I do.
What?
Well, I know you do, but I'm just going to explain it for people
I
that might just
don't.
happen to be randomly joining us.
Tell me.
We go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie.
That tracks.
They come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and Robot Jocks.
Ooh, Robot Jocks.
Oh, that's a good fun movie.
Yeah, see? Good
Yeah.
movie. Robot Jocks.
Yeah.
But hold
Five
up.
jocks.
What?
Negative sliding scale. 1 to
that's
5
weird.
bags, as in giant bags of trash. That's what goes to the bad movies.
Oh.
Ooh.
So we
Bad
should
as in
s-
stay away.
stay
Thought
away?
I'd flip that up.
Okay.
Yeah. Try it in the King's English.
Oh, the Royal King's English.
I'm sorry. This is America.
In which they belong, because we do not end sentences and prepositions.
From.
Yeah. Bitch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Twilight sucks.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Wait, what?
Something about
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Nothing.
Didn't think so.
So,
So,
yeah.
episode 472.
Yep, we are wrapping up Force Majoon. It's my last chance to full on David Tennant.
Yes.
Force Majoon.
Farewell, Force Majoon.
Yeah. We are wrapping it up with 1994's T-Force.
T-Force.
To force.
T-Force.
T-Force.
To force.
Too
Love
furious.
elevator.
Yeah. Plot summary? You want one?
Yes,
You
I
still,
would-
you still make me do these. So.
Uh-huh.
God damn it, do your job.
Okay, do your job.
We only ask like 80 things of you.
All right, thanks. In the near future, after a hostage situation, after a hostage situation goes awry, the last resort option of law enforcement, Cybernaut Unit T-Force, is ordered to be disassembled.
T-force.
But the robots see this as a threat to their self-preservation and go on a killing rampage. It's up to the law. It's up to Police Lieutenant Jack Floyd and one of the Cybernauts, who is on the right side of the law,
Oh,
to bring them down.
yes.
Thanks, Sound Chaser from IMDb.
Sound
of
chaser?
sound. Yeah, he's chasing sound.
I hope he catches it.
Yeah, we've been chasing shadows, so he can chase sounds,
Good for him.
things that you can't catch.
Right.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. One day. So,
Yeah.
this is from the director of Hologram Man.
It sure is.
Richard Pepin.
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 Yes.
Pippin.
Pepin. Pepin.
Yes, please, sir.
See-
We want some more of these movies.
Is he related to Jacques Pepin?
I do not know.
Jacques Pepin.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? No.
Okay.
Yeah, he.
Ah.
yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, he directed Hologram Man and also Firepower.
Firepower.
Ooh, we've seen Firepower, haven't we?
Yeah, that was the Ultimate Warrior movie, where he just lurked around in the background in a leather jacket and
Oh, right. Yeah, we didn't like Firepower very much,
wasn't
did we?
good.
No.
There was a quantity of fighting, but not a quality of fighting.
Gotcha.
I seem
So-
to remember there being a lack of lighting.
It was dark and smoky.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
um,
This is better.
yeah,
There's light in this.
It's got some more people in it.
Yes, it was written by Joe Hart of Rage fame.
Another one from this studio.
Yeah. And it stars Jack Scalia, no relation to Antonin, I think, who is in The Rift and Endgame. It also has Evan Lurie from Hologram Man and Duran McBee from Time Barbarians. And he was also, unrelated to the BMFcast, Malibu from American Gladiators.
Fun trivia.
Yeah. And we're now welcoming to the BMFcast somehow. There's certain people that we always are amazed that they haven't been in any of our movies, but Erin Gray from Buck Rogers
Yes.
is now a BMFcast alum.
She has a lot of credits where it's like, those should have been on the BMFcast, but yeah, this is the first
welcome.
first chance.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So as stated, this movie opens and it's basically
Like most movies do, it opens.
It basically is Die Hard. It
starts as Die Hard to the
yeah.
point where maybe
Die
you
Hard,
think
but in a skyscraper.
this movie is going to be Die Hard.
Yeah.
But they accelerate the shit out of Die Hard.
Sure. But yeah, it's people sneaking in various disguises, janitors and guys just standing in the lobby, and then all of a sudden they orchestrate a plan, and it's shoot the security guards, and they're taking over, I guess, an embassy because there is an ambassador there.
Yes.
It doesn't seem to be an embassy, except there happens to be an ambassador, but
It looks like an office complex
Yeah.
for a mall.
but yeah, they take this place over, and it's basically like, release our brothers,
Asian Dawn.
our brothers in arms who are in your jails, and man, the police comply like right away. It's like they're in there like, well, first off, after they like get in place, and we find out this is the near future because they have cool little video phone things.
Okay, here's what's weird to me, and I'm going to go ahead and say this now.
All right.
Oh, this is what's weird.
Well, this movie is some sort of near future post-apocalyptic something or other, but
Yeah.
it never struck me as that until they go out to the rubble later in the film. Like, up until this point, I was just like, yeah, we had those shitty things in the 90s. Fine, maybe you want to pretend that's a video camera. Okay. But, like, even with the whole, like, cybernauts that are coming up here shortly, never once was my brain like, this must be the future. It was just like, the 90s were weird. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it does seem to be a future where certain things stopped. Like we kept making certain technology, like cybernauts or androids or whatever you want to call them.
Yes.
But like we stopped making most cars at like 1995.
We
well,
did.
I guess 1994 when the movie came out. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of Nissan Sentras and
Mazdas,
shit boxes and
just-
things like that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, well,
And there's at least 2 Daewoo's.
yeah, yeah.
The dream of the 90s is alive into force.
Thank God.
But yeah, but they called on the police and like, this is what we want, and this is how serious we are, because they just pick some random lady and they defenestrate her out of the top floor, and she gets splatted on the sidewalk, and they're like, we mean business, click.
Yep.
And 2 minutes later, like, here comes like the first of four people from our jails. And
Yeah,
there's
like four, they're handcuffed and they've got hoods over their heads, and they walk through and they rip off the hoods, and it's just like, hey, you're out of jail, yay, good going, you. And it's like, all right, that's weird. And so like the main captain's just like, all right, you got your first bunch, the next group are coming.
And meanwhile, they're already calling in T-Force. They're calling the mayor or the police captain or whatever is like saying we need T-Force. And I feel like it's weird because we don't hear about these outside of blaxploitation movies very often. It seems like this is a position that they still exist, but like nobody gives a shit about him much anymore.
The
But
alderman?
there's an alderman,
Yeah.
and he's like the no guy. He's like the no robots, not this. Like, what are you doing? He's just the naysayer for like everything.
He pops into the police captain's office and is just like, you don't have the authority to call in T-Force. They're only for emergencies. And he's
Last
just
resort,
like,
yeah.
And he's like, the fuck? They've taken over. It's like 30 terrorists were emptying our jails, and they're throwing people out windows. What do you mean?
Yeah. But they're also trying to find
Jack.
Jack Scalia, who's also named Jack.
Jack.
He's the Tony Danza of this movie.
Come on, Jack. Where
And-
are you?
and
You gotta
he's,
get
he's
there.
not answering, and
No.
they can't get a hold. So they're calling in T-Force, and eventually, they get their first batch, and they're like, "Hey, welcome, brothers. We got you." And then like this, like one of those mobile command center pop-out vans shows up, and we're like, "Oh shit, I think T-Force is here." And the next batch comes in, and it's again, well, we have seen T-Force briefly.
We
like,
did. We
in the
skipped
opening.
over
Yeah, the opening. Oh,
the
shit, yeah.
announcement of this
Sorry.
movie being fucking glorious,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true.
just these 4 dudes or 3 dudes and a lady in
Oh, there's 4 dudes in the league.
not at the beginning.
Oh, wasn't?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Athens,
Schlubby.
Athens is not a part of this. That's why his appearance is so weird here in a
right,
minute.
right,
But
okay.
they emerge out of this kind of rubble pit, and there's an explosion behind them as they're all posing, and no one flinches. as the whatever explodes.
Well,
and
they each get their individual like power pose
Right.
shots, and then they all rise up from the rubble.
I mean, it really does look like the opening credits of an American Gladiators, where it's like,
Sure.
here's all the people, and then
Blaze,
but then
Turbo.
or like here's a toy line
Zap.
that's coming out. Yes,
Yeah.
it's like here are the humans playing the dolls that your kids will want to buy. Yeah,
And this
so
fucking explosion is huge.
it is, and they don't flinch.
They don't move a muscle.
Yeah.
Like the one guy, Kane, his hair is being blown forward from the explosion, and
Yeah, that's the only thing moving.
not a single muscle twitch.
So we've seen them.
yes. Yeah, so this pop out, mobile command center thing comes up and we're like, oh, T-Force is here. And they lead it in the next batch, and it's like, as I said, because if you've seen a movie, it's like, I bet that's T-Force under those hoods. Because they've set that up with one batch. And, of course, they go in and, one guy pulls the hood off of him, and it just becomes robot ass-kicking time.
Yes.
They just murder everyone in the lobby.
It seems weird that they would make them wear the hoods into the building.
But I think they were trying to get the guys of hey, these are people, because
No, I'm saying why the terrorists would be like,
Oh, I
wear
don't
the
know.
hoods all the way through, and then when you get into the lobby, we'll take them off.
who knows?
It's
feel
bad
like-
terrorist planning.
Well, I feel like the police did this because they
I
they
know.
made him show up because they have they've got the hacker guys controlling the doors and all this stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
but T-Force has entered the building.
they're in, and they're just wiping out terrorists.
Yep.
And Jack Scalia finally arrives in his whatever car he has.
It's an old Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convertible.
And goes into the command center and is just like, what's the situation? And there's nerdy science guy who's just like, well, they got the heat signatures and the things, and they're over here. They've taken out 6 terrorists, and there goes 2 more, and you can watch them on this heat sensor. That's them in the gray because, they're robots. They don't have any body heat. And, he's just like, I'm going in. And he's just like, Jack, no, let the T-Force handle this.
Yeah, he's just
"Nah."
program the robots to love. No, I'm coming in. And it takes literally 30 seconds before you realize this guy hates robots. He's
Yep.
robot racist, or I'm sorry,
He's robotist.
cyber not racist, cybernotist. I don't know.
Cyber racist.
Cyber racist.
Naughty.
Yeah. He's cyber not going to have any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes in, and the terrorists have kind of set up some weird booby traps amongst everybody.
Well, when the shit
one.
That's weird enough.
I mean, the head guy is super happy that his plan is working out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's super smug. We've got it. We're getting our guys. I can't believe this is working. And we got the ambassador, so we're fucking set. And then the second they can't reach somebody because they've been murdered in the lobby, that's when they're like, Plan B, let's murder the hostages, take some, get to the roof, get the fuck out
But
of here.
he loses his shit.
Oh, absolutely,
He
yeah.
goes absolutely ape shit.
But their main booby trap is that they've stuck hostages in one boardroom, and they're making some lady stand on a pressure sensitive. It's almost like a landmine, but it's person get on this. It calibrates your weight, and if it changes at all, this C4 is going to blow up.
Right.
It's basically a contraption like that.
Yep.
So Jack Scalia has met up with the cybernauts, and they have almost shot each other, and he's like, oh, all right, let's go get him. So he's helping
He pairs off with Kane.
Well, yeah, he pairs off with Kane, but they're helping. And also, by the way, Kane gets thrown out of the building, or I'm sorry, grenade launched out of the building at
He
one
already
point.
has, been launched out of the top floor of this building,
Gone through a van,
went through a van, sits up in the back of the van, and just
kicks
kind
the door.
of...
No, kicks the doors open, and then it's just by the way, he's got this beautiful feathered hair.
Yes.
And then he just kind of gets out of the van after kicking it, and it's just the slightest breeze just kind of goes.
Well, he shakes his head a
He
little
shakes
bit,
his head,
just
yeah.
shakes the glass out of his hair, and then just is back upstairs.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it.
That's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Valvoline.
There you go.
Got him.
Off that. See what anybody can do with that one.
Yep.
But yeah, so he's already gone. He's gone back in and ready for ass kicking again. So some hostages is he's Jack Scalia's get on out, which seems like a bad idea. Maybe stay put until the robots are done murdering everybody.
Yeah.
But he gets to the other room and Kane's I got this, and goes over and uses his robot eyes to see exactly what this is and pull up the schematics and determine her weight and everything, and basically puts his hand on. And compensates for half her body getting off of it, and then the other half. So
Yeah,
it
he
never,
Raiders of the Lost Arks
yeah,
her.
yeah. And so he's you may want to leave. He's basically Jack Scalia and all the hostages. You may want to run, and then he just takes his hand off and starts running.
He tells Jack Scalia, is you might want to get out of here, and he's like, Yep. And just turns tail and runs.
Yeah.
And so the room blows up. Kane goes exploding out, through the hallway.
Yeah, it's just like, whew,
Yeah.
how's my hair?
Yeah.
I will say this movie has an abnormal number of grenade launchers.
Yes.
Like, just for any movie. Like, there was one
Well,
point
it's
where...
only got like 2, but they use them a lot.
Yeah.
Well, no, because, like, one... Like, okay, we didn't... There were 5 cybernauts that entered the building. Stop me if you heard this one.
Go on.
An hour and a half ago.
The 6 cybernaut ducks. No. No, there's 5 of them. We've only seen 4 in the opening shot.
Right.
So there is this, like, kind of schlubby 5th cybernaut. He's
like
the...
a Ted from Accounting Cybernaut.
He's the Pete Best of cybernauts.
He's not the best at anything.
They don't explain this properly because this is obviously the prototype cybernaut who just gets to tag along because
This was the one made out of like the iron worker, like the schlubby iron worker
Yeah.
he's
robot.
just a dumpy accountant, just a guy, and they tell us he's a cybernaut, and you're like, no, these other 4 are specimens of humanity, and this guy's an accident.
Yeah.
He's like, his chromosomes went wrong. It's just not right.
Well, he was the cybernaut. They were the cyber R's.
Right.
Are you saying his chromosomes were rusty?
Keep them coming. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
good.
Yep.
It's gold.
No, that's not conductive. So they didn't
That's
use
right.
that.
Yeah, that would be
No,
fun.
gold is really
Oh,
conductive.
actually, you're right. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, so
I gotta
you made
know
it
everything
gold?
around here.
Is he?
Yes, he
Wow.
is, in fact.
24 karat Jesus.
But anyway, they blast that dude's head off.
Yeah, that guy's done.
Yes.
With a grenade launcher, like point blank.
Yep. And I mean, literally, his head goes rolling down the hallway.
Heads will roll.
Yeah.
His.
So everyone's gone up to the roof,
Uh-huh.
and the terrorists are getting away in a
Well,
helicopter.
not everybody. Just Jack Scalia. Well, the terrorists are on the helicopter with some hostages. I
Right.
believe the ambassador is on the helicopter
Yes.
with them.
And Jack Scalia has run up there.
Well, he's like he's right at the front of the helicopter as it's taking off. He's just like at this point he's traded his semi-automatic pistol for a giant 44 Magnum.
Oh, okay. Wait.
yeah, because he gave it to some lady.
He gave it to a lady that.
Oh, Lord. This
so
lady.
it's the I believe it's the lady who was standing on the pressure trigger.
Sure, we'll go with that.
But so he's getting shot at by one of the terrorists and is carrying her down the hallway.
He's got her in a fireman's carry.
But she is pointed towards the gunman.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're running along, and there are these little glass things that separate like these desks.
It's like the cube dividers for
Yeah.
sound.
And so every time the terrorist is shooting at them, it just hits this glass, and we're like, it's just hitting the glass because it should be pumping into her.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets around a corner and places her down and gives her his gun and then pulls out a fucking hand cannon.
Right.
And it's like, if anyone comes, use this. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
And he
pull
runs
the
around the
trigger.
corner, shoots some terrorists, and then runs back, and she's like dead. And he's like, the hell? And then just touches her back and is like, oh.
Which
She absorbed all those
look,
bullets.
it's terrible for her.
It is.
However, it's awesome because the movie actually acknowledges
Right.
what you're thinking of, like, why is the glass stopping the bullet? And why is she just not his bullet shield at this point?
Yeah.
But she totally is.
She stopped
Yeah.
the bullets. And then she stopped living.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why he has his monster hand cannon up
Right.
on the roof, points it at the helicopter pilot. The helicopter pilot's just like, nah.
Oh, no, he's actually traded that out for an assault rifle with a giant scope.
That's right. He does
Yeah.
upgrade
Well,
to.
I think he was dual wielding, actually.
Maybe.
but yeah.
Could have been.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
he gets up
did.
there and he's just kind of like, hey, stop the helicopter.
And they're just like, mm-mm.
I mean, to be fair, he's not shooting the helicopter because there are hostages,
Right.
Which is established. Like, there's a reason for him not to be shooting there, but
Yeah.
he's just kind of like trying to talk him down, and they end up kind of like dieharding him off the roof.
They fly towards him, to which he goes, oh, and it looks like he goes over the edge, but he only goes over the edge to that weird secondary
Subroof.
roof that you never actually see until someone lands on it because they fell off the top.
Yeah, I was thinking he was gonna like land on the net, like
Yeah.
have the net around. The
Sure.
side. No,
But yeah, so he's just like, cursed you, helicopter. And then Kane, no, not Kane, Adam,
Adam.
who's the bad guy from Hologram Man, is just like, well,
Yep, I got a grenade launcher. Ho,
watch
ho, ho.
this. And the guy's like, no, the hostages. And then,
Well, he actually says something like, primary directive is eliminate the terrorists, blam, and just fireball
Explodes the
this.
helicopter.
Yeah, and then it's just immediately to the mayor's office, who's Aaron Gray,
Right.
and it's just like these damn robots, like they're not paying, they're not following your orders.
They don't pay taxes, so fuck them.
Well, like
Turn 'em off.
The alderman's there, like, you're right, mayor. Like, we got to shut them down, and everything. And then like the Jack's there,
He
and
is.
like the scientist, they bring the scientist guy in who like runs the what is it called? It's not
T-Force.
No, but I mean like the
Genesis.
lab, but then it's like, is it just called cybernautics or something like that?
It's
The-
like
the main-
Genesis Cybernautics
Sure.
or something. Yeah.
But like he's there and like a couple like other people, and they're all like, yeah, we got to shut this down. Like this isn't right. And then it's like, then we learn that like it's not like this isn't like Universal Soldier. Like these aren't the only things. Like
Yeah, it's not like we made 4 robots.
no, it's like, but it's like we're in a future where these cybernauts, these android things, are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they cook, clean, do whatever, like
Because that's
Fuck.
everyone's
Yeah.
that's everyone's argument is they should just be maids. They should just be doing the simple tasks. Like this is too
oh, it pretty much escalates to like we should shut them all down. But
Well,
but we'll start
yeah.
with T-Force,
right.
Because we've armed them. So.
Yeah. And so this guy, the creator of the T-Force,
He does no favors for his argument right
man,
away.
he just immediately goes into just like the how dare you? They can laugh,
Yeah.
and it's just like
He goes straight into the doctor, the Frankenstein's doctor.
he comes
speech of,
just
like,
short of going into evil madman mode to where you would say, okay, we need to put a tail on him because he's going to go back and flip the evil chip on these things, and they're going to go mad, and that's almost right, but
Yeah,
it's
he,
not.
but I mean, immediately goes to full God complex, and it's like, whoa, okay, yeah, moving ahead with that plan. Thanks for cinching that. We're done. Yeah,
Yeah. And then we get some flirting between Aaron Gray and Jack Scalia. Apparently, they were an item at one point.
yeah.
And she was all business, and he was all pleasure.
And she goes like, business is my pleasure, and he's like, yeah, well, your pleasure is my business. Ting.
Yeah.
Jack
Got him.
Scalia out.
He has 5 or 6 lines in this movie that he thinks are the funniest fucking things ever. They're all bad. But the way he sells it with his dumb, like, is real good. But yeah, so we've established that he maybe cares about her a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
But they have a shared hatred of robots.
Yes,
Like,
they
bond
both
over that.
fucking hate robots.
Yeah.
So the creator scientist guy goes back to the Genesis lab.
Oh, and this is where we learned that like these murder bots are basically children.
Yes.
Because they're like, where is Schlubby robot? I don't know, Schlubbot.
Athens.
Athens. Sure, why
Yeah,
not?
because they're like, "Where's Athens?"
Where's
And we're like,
Athens? And he's
"Greece."
like, he's not coming. And he's like, why not? It's like, well, he got damaged. And it's
Yeah.
like, can you not repair him?
"No."
Like, no, I'm sorry,
No.
he got damaged for unprepared. And they're like,
So
so
he's-
he's dead.
And it's like,
So
yeah.
he's like, yeah. And then they're like, what? There's more, right? Isn't there? And he's like, yeah, about that. They want to turn you all off.
they're gonna disassemble you guys too.
It's like, so we'll be dead.
Having found out my friend is dead has turned me off.
And Adam is basically like, yeah, and this becomes like this dumb cyber circular argument of, it's just like, so the creator is for justice and our directive but the creator is turned on the justice and
Just listen to the intro. That's
yeah.
Yeah, they basically like, Isaac Asimov their way out of this
Yeah.
in some weird way. They're like, yeah, but Directive 1 is like self-preservation and Directive 2 is don't kill any people. It's like, maybe you should have reversed those.
Yeah, you really should have
yeah.
watched RoboCop before you made these.
Yeah, but then they're just like, well, self-preservation is in our interest and law is saying that we
No,
are going to have to
disassemble
die.
Johnny
Yeah.
Five.
Well, they already did that earlier. But
yeah,
and
the
then
fifth one, yeah.
yeah, and so they're like, yeah, so law's bad, except for Kane, who's the kind of the hero one we saw earlier, piling around with Jack Scalia,
Yeah.
and saving the lady, unlike Jack Scalia,
Correct.
who's basically like, no, law first, and they're like, I don't think
No,
so. Let's murder
robots
everybody.
first,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
And they immediately murder the creator. Yeah, it hops to the end of Frankenstein.
Yes.
And
Robots are people
and
too.
Adam murders the doctor right away.
Yep. And they walk into the hall, and these fucking rent-a-cops are just like, I got this. And it's like, no, you fucking don't. And they all get cyber murdered. And then it's just the cops show up, and it's just like, well, everyone here is dead. And it's great because they go into the lab, and Jack Scalia is like, how's that guy? And someone just goes, dead. It's like, yep, they're all been cyber crushed. But yeah, Jack Scalia is just like, this is some shit.
Except like they go over in the corner, like behind the security desk, and there's Kane just sitting there. Like,
Kane is sitting there like a German shepherd, just next to the creator's body, just like,
why'd they drag him out to the lobby? Like he got murdered back in the lab. Like I
No,
don't.
he wasn't. They were in.
No,
The,
they were-
this
they
was
went
in
back
the.
to the
This was
lab.
in
Oh,
the
that
lab.
was- okay.
Yeah.
With the pen and a pad.
I guess they just turned all the lights on this time.
Yeah. Yes, because the lighting in this lab is fucking weird. It's just like one window of super sunlight that lights the whole goddamn room.
Well, it's like 3 that
Yeah.
that
There's no actual lighting.
Cast a giant beam in three very specific spots.
On the fourth light of Genesis Lab, they rested.
Oh, okay.
I
That makes
see.
sense.
Yeah.
That's why there's only 3.
Yeah. Yeah, to you, there shall be 3 lights. There are 4 lights. Yeah.
Yep. So they immediately grab Kane.
Mm-hmm.
They all draw guns. They're just like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, what the hell? Tell us what you did. Tell us what you know. And he's just like, well, they were going to be executed, so they preserved themselves. That's what we're supposed to do, right? I didn't want to do it, but they did, so
I just kind of sat here.
yeah. And they're like, you lied, motherfucker. You're going to the torture room.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally like put him in a crucifixion pose.
Yeah.
Like they have
sitting on a pile of dynamite, according to what they say.
Yep. Like if you haven't noticed, this movie does a lot of
imagery.
Well, I was gonna say like biblical allegory,
Oh, yeah.
but like not
With Adam and Cain.
very
but
deft.
no.
I mean, the Adam thing's more like the Frankenstein Adam because
Yeah.
that, but also the other Adam, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff because it's all right. Let's just go ahead and name them all. There's Adam. There's Cain, who's going to turn on his brothers.
Yep.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
There's Zeus, which doesn't really fit, except it's just a cool name, and he's also a creator, kind of thing.
He's Malibu.
Yeah, he's Malibu. Malibu Zeus.
Malibu Zeus.
No, I'm ballerina Zeus. Delicate, graceful. They had to go. But anyway, and then there's
The lady.
it's Mandragora, which is a classic name for Mandrake, which is once believed to be a potent aphrodisiac conception thing. So yeah.
Oh, that
it's
checks out.
Yeah, so like
Horny bot.
Horny bot.
Hornybot 5000.
Yeah, basically they're like, hey, that
Uh.
this robot fucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, just naming him off, and
Yes.
then there was Schlub. It doesn't matter.
Athens.
Yeah.
Athens.
He's in rubble.
Yes.
Yeah, he's ruined.
He's totally ruined.
Yeah. So it's accurate.
Good music scene, though.
Yeah.
So Jack Scalia is just basically not taking any of this. He's just like, all right, I got a trigger in here. I'm gonna blow your nuts and bolts off if you don't.
He's like,
actually, I'm cybernetic wiring and
Circuitry.
superconductors, not
no
nuts and
nuts
bolts. And he's just like, you
He's-
motherfucker.
He's also constantly calling a robot. He's like, I'm a cybernaut.
Yeah.
And it's like, not a robot.
yeah, it's like whatever.
Whatever.
Before this, there was a scene earlier where Jack Scalia went to a bar to unwind, and there's a cyber stripper.
Well, he basically hangs out with the racist friends from the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, Yes.
That unfortunate.
yeah, they're
of
just
the movie.
drinking and playing pool. But it starts with like this very homely stripper lady, who just and a crowd who is not that enthused except on occasion.
To be
She
fair,
was also a steel worker in a previous
Yeah.
robot life.
I was going
I
to say,
think.
like, to be fair, like, we're saying this because it turns out she's a cybernaut.
Right.
And it's like, all right, no offense, ma'am, but if you're going to build a stripper bot, do better.
The
Well,
waitress.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense why they built a cyber waitress who is 1,000,000 times hotter than the cyber stripper.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. It's so.
She was really kind of a botter face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize immediately, and I can't
Oh,
take
that
it
was
back.
really good. I like that a lot. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
I feel so immediately bad for doing that.
No, don't apologize.
All right.
It's all right.
Never. Don't hide your light under a bushel.
Okay.
But anyway, Jack Scalia is just basically like, can you believe they're going to have cyber hookers now? Did you hear about this? Cyber hookers?
But I think.
And his friends are like, yeah, fuck that. I ain't fucking no robot. And then that's when the waitress
comes up, and I think the waitress is actually a cyber hooker.
She may be.
Yeah.
Because
she like her.
She's a cyber dancer. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold me closer, cyber dancer. But
She's working her way through cyber nursing school. Yeah.
but they show a perspective shot, cyber vision,
They do.
and it says like target acquired or mark acquired or something like that, where it's
But at the bottom, it also says dislikes robots.
yeah.
Like,
But
wait,
she
did-
goes over and talk. I think she's a cyber hooker sizing up her prey.
Yeah. Yes, and it almost works. Like she's enough to charm the two doofuses to where they're like, I gotta go home. Something suddenly came up, and Jack Scalia is almost like, yeah, nice try, lady, but yes.
Yeah, but that would
Close
be
but no
that would be
cigar.
un-American, I believe, is what he said.
Yeah, I believe he does. And then this cuts to him sitting in a weird cyber chair, And this lady walks in and is
It's just
like,
this normal chair. It's an easy chair.
it's a weird looking
well,
chair.
it's a future chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting in a chair, and this lady walks in and was just like, "Hi, I noticed you, and I thought I'd
I was,
come over and
I
talk
was
to
walking,
you."
like it's like the letters, the forum, Penthouse Forum bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I was walking by and I noticed you, and I just couldn't resist. So,
Yeah.
do you mind if I come in and strip for you? And he's like, not at all. Happens all the time.
Go right ahead. And she takes her clothes off and then just holograms out.
Well, he reaches for her.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
And
it's
she
like,
goes
it's
into holodust.
and then,
Holy God.
then it cuts back, and he's literally got like Dark Helmet's VR gear on.
It is like it's oh God, who's the Aquaman?
Oh, Black Manta.
Yeah. It's that size ridiculous VR helmet
Yeah.
on. It looks like an alien a pilot's helmet with glowing eyes, and it's like there's no way they ever sold this VR system to anybody. So yeah, he's okay with the hologram hookers.
Hey,
But not the actual cyber hookers.
nothing wrong jacking it to VR. I'm just saying, like, don't stick your dick in a robot, according to him. I'm just saying, that's his rules, man.
But just shoot that everywhere
Yeah.
on a hologram. That's fine. Whatever. Fucking holodeck.
It's just light. It's no different. Like, I mean, look, holograms are no different than jacking it to the television. It's just both. It's light beams coming into your eyes. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. You got to be careful about things coming into your eyes when you're jacking into holograms.
I'm saying from an
So true.
from an ethical standpoint,
Confucius say.
a hologram is just this. It's just light. So that's why you couldn't touch her. It fucked it all up because
He did fuck it all up.
broke the light beams.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But,
anyway,
yeah.
we've established that fucking bit of cyber nonsense.
Yeah, I just that VR helmet. I wish it came back up. I really. There's a point. Well, there's a point later where he takes
Almost.
Kane home, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, come on, put the cyber helmet on him."
Yeah. Come on, Kane.
That's got to come back into the movie.
See
You can't
what
have made this prop for one scene only.
Right. So So basically, Kane eventually convinces Jack that it's like, look,
Sort of. He's sort of like, you're going after them. Don't you think it'd be good if you had me along? It's probably your only chance of survival. And he's just like, fuck you, robot, and leaves.
Yeah.
And then he just immediately goes to see Aaron Gray and is like, hey.
He goes to Aaron Gray because the Cybernauts have already hit the police precinct.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone and just murdered everyone.
They Terminator won the police precinct.
They do. And blow it the fuck up.
But not specifically, like, they go after the police captain. That's like the
Yes.
other commissioner or whatever the hell he is.
Because the creator told them that
It's
the
the
people
law.
who ordered your death are the police commissioner and the mayor. And so they're like, well, to
Yeah.
preserve ourselves, we've got to kill those two people. So they've taken care of one of them.
Yeah, well, we said Hologram Man going to specifically kill the police commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
And he does this thing where, like, his hand becomes, like, you know, a T-800 hand or 600 whatever, and like whatever number fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Terminator hand. Just say
He
Terminator
goes to the
hand.
Terminator hand, and like he does like this weird thing, like his fingers go
Yeah,
together,
the fingers like become a cube.
and then like this little like you know
This extra
like-
pointy bit
yeah like
comes
a,
out.
like a lipstick comes out.
Yes.
It's silver.
Red rocket.
It's a robot
Red
red rocket.
rockets.
Yeah, but then it's just like it kind of glows for half a second, and it would appear from us that like he jams his hand through the police commissioner because there's a glowy bit out the back, and I was like, okay, so he's got like some sort of heating coil thing that he just punched his way through the.
Punched all the way through the dude, and the little heaty bit came out the other side.
Right.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
Later, it's revealed to be a full-on fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, but like a color change. It's like it changes to all the Jedi colors.
Right.
Like it goes green, blue, red, yellow.
Whatever. It's a
purple.
mood. It's a mood murder lightsaber.
However strong your murder boner is whatever
Yes.
color. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it turns out they could have used that. That he had a robot lightsaber in his
Yep.
hand. the
They
whole time.
could not afford all their budget was spent on explosions.
True.
And
Yes.
robot middle fingers.
Yeah.
But yes, so they
So-
murdered this, and then Jack Scalia like goes to see Aaron Gray and is like, hey, robot has this idea. I don't know if I agree with it, but like that we should
She's in hiding. She's under protective custody because the
Well-
police captain's dead. But she's like, I have to go to the christening of this ship.
yeah, they're naming it after me.
And Jack Scalia is like, okay, but you need to turn this robot loose. He'll help us. And she's like, fine. He's your new partner.
It's the alderman that's like again telling her she should just hide in her bunker or whatever. And she's like, I'm not. They're naming the ship after me. I have to show up.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's
How
like,
that Halderman guy was not in on this is...
I don't know. He's just a little
Also, I think it's
Weasel.
Alderman. I keep saying Halderman like he's
Halderman?
the Vietnam
No.
guy, but
alderman.
yeah. Ward,
Yeah.
Captain, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Jack shows up and is like, he's got a point. I don't like it, but he's got a point. Like
Yeah.
if we want to fight them, we need one of them on our side.
Right.
And she's like, can you trust him? And he's like, not really, but what choice do we have? Like,
Exactly.
They murdered an entire police precinct. We're kind of short on police right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine, but he's your partner. He's like, fuck no.
He's like, what?
I didn't sign up for that. And she's like, that's the deal. Take it or leave it. And he's like, yeah, fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he goes.
So this begins the Turner and Hooch section of the movie. We've moved out of the Die Hard section. We are now in the wacky police pairing partner goofy shit. Yeah, so he goes back and is just like, all right, untie him. And, he's like, well, do you need all these guns on me? He's like, no, all right. So, yeah, they're now partners.
And they go, all right, so there's another interstitial where it seems like this doesn't make any sense, but this is the first time we go to bombed out middle of nowhere, like post-apocalyptic area. Because, like, what we've seen of Cyber LA or wherever the hell we're supposed to be, Cyber Canada.
Looks normal.
It looks normal. It just looks like, yeah, you have old cars, but, like, buildings are intact. All of this looks pretty good for.
It looks like LA.
But they go out to this old factory thing that just looks like Sarajevo. It's it's fucked up.
It's bombed out nothingness.
And then the bad T-Force basically just like there's punks there.
Yes,
And this is-
post-apocalyptic just gang.
And in case like if there was any doubt that like there's some things that they're doing that aren't exactly robot-like, like for example when Kane is getting questioned by Jack, there is a point where it seems like he's trying to do the data I can't use contractions things, except he's like, where are they? And he's like, I don't know. It's like, and then he switches back to, I cannot tell you that. And it's like, pick one. But,
Yep.
But by this point, like, they full on show up to these guys and stop and put on sunglasses and stuff to look cool.
Yes.
And it should be mentioned, like, the T-Force, when they're in, like, full on, like, murder mode, basically have Punisher outfits. I mean, it's not a skull, but it might as well be. It's like it's all black except for
black
like,
jumpsuits with just weird like armor plating
like
in
silver
strategic
like
places.
X's over their chesticle.
They
area.
all look like what they're wearing boob armor, which is unfortunate on a couple of them.
Sure.
Especially Athens.
Yeah. Move armor.
But yeah, so they're just like, hey, we're here.
Yeah,
and
like,
the gang is like,
the last cop we had here, we really enjoyed his company down to the last bite.
Yeah. And so Lady Robot just takes one of the dude's guns and puts it in her mouth.
She starts filleting it
and pulls the trigger to where then you hear like some robot crunching, and then she produces the bullet.
Well, first she blows out the smoke,
right?
Like she just smoked a cigarette, and then goes,
yeah,
I'm not very hungry.
Yeah, and that's when Adam's like, are you threatening me? I think they're threatening me. And so they just straight up murder all these guys.
Yeah, and we're kind of like, why are you, like, I thought your thing was police commissioner mayor, why are you murdering these like thugs out in the middle of this nowhere place?
Yeah.
And it's because they want a base of operation.
Right.
They have also stolen a helicopter from the police precinct, so that's their mode of transport.
That's how they got away from the police precinct. They have also gone to a weapon store.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah. Off screen, they have gone and like, oh, we got a report that like we're down to four people that match the descriptions robbed
three.
Because
one of them's good.
Oh, right, yeah. 3 people have robbed this gun store. We got to go check it out. So this is the first, like, time for Jack and Kane to go investigate. Yeah. They're going to go investigate this.
Yes.
And it's just, it's just dude who's got, like, gun bodega. I mean, because it's like, it's a liquor store / there's some groceries and chips.
Fucking 7-Eleven with assault weapons.
I am almost positive that, like, someone on the set crew was having a little fun because it's panning. There's this shot as they're coming up to the register to meet him for the first time.
Yeah.
It's just assault rifle, super soaker.
Yep.
Or not even like a super soaker. It's like one of those like
stick thing.
like the stick thing where you like pull it back and in the pool.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's just like that's at the end, like propped up like it's a gun, and I'm pretty sure someone just on the set decoration was like, "This will be funny."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they talked to that dude for a while, and they realized that he took a bunch of guns. Mm-hmm. They took all the mercury,
all the thermometers he had.
Yeah, and because Jack later says they're injured, so mercury is apparently what they need.
Kane's the one that reveals that somehow mercury fixes their injuries. He's like,
right.
They took the mercury because he spotted. He's like, well, did they take that too? It's like, yeah, they took all their thermometers and broke that one out of there. And he's like, they're injured. Yeah. And then he goes,
he smells his hands.
He's like, you have nitroglycerin. And he's like, what? No, I had like
a turkey and onion sandwich.
And stuff. He's like, tell us where the nitroglycerin is. It's like, all right,
it's not a crime. There's no more gun control or anything.
Like,
there's no law.
I was making nitroglycerin in the back, but they took it all, so you can't arrest me. And he's like, they also took my red food coloring. Anyway, bye.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like the parting thing. It's like, they took your red food coloring? What?
I know.
Are they gonna bake a cake?
Yeah, he does actually say that, which is funny because that was exactly the bad line I was thinking in my head. Like I was just like, are you gonna bake a cake? And
Yeah.
he goes, are you gonna bake a cake? And I'm like, holy shit, this movie is written by me in the past.
Yeah. So, okay. Our 3 cyber terrorists are hanging out, just going through their weapons and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Lady, like, throws a ball at Malibu. And it's just like, come on, play with me. And he's like, not right now. I have to load these bullets, or these guns, and bullets into the guns. Whatever.
Yeah, he's modifying their weapons
Yeah.
or something.
And she's like, and like Malibu just takes her ball and flings it, just like, get away from me, puppy dog. And she goes over and finds it, but then she finds a nudie mag, and she just pulls it out and just starts thumbing through it. And Adam comes over and looking over her shoulder like, and she's like, what are these people doing? And he's like, procreating.
They appear to be procreating.
And she's like, should we procreate?
Well, she's like, can we do that? He's like, maybe we could try, but we'd probably have to take our clothes off.
Yep.
Did they give him robot dicks? Man.
I mean,
We don't know. But
I think given that the Frankenstein doctor guy from earlier was like, all the God complex, I'm pretty sure he was going for full,
trust
fully
me,
functional.
You don't build a cybernaut without a
Cyber dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just what's the point?
Or a cybergina.
So this cuts to
yeah, Adam and Mandrake lady Mandragora. I'm just saying Mandrake.
Yep. They are outside slowly undressing one another.
While Sexy Sax is playing.
Yes, very sexy sax. While Malibu
Zeus
is over watching this while comparing what they're doing to the magazine.
Oh yeah, flipping it in all the directions as they're
going to cyberfuck.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucking hilarious. This is the best thing. It's so good.
Yep.
Because any other movie would just be like, should we do that? No, wop wop boing, and then that just you don't cut to them actually cyberfucking, which is what happens.
Well, we don't actually get to see them cyberfucking. They're just sexually taking each other's clothes off.
Sure. But man,
It's implied.
Like she starts taking his pants down and he just gets cyber ass, and then you get her cyber boobs and
Cyboobs. Why did they give her cyber boobs? Did she need cyber boobs? No.
they also could have been better.
They're fine.
I'm sure they're fine, but whoever the stunt boobs
Don't
was,
cyber body shame
I'm
her.
not. I just
She's fine.
Not everyone's Kelly LeBrock. You can't all make the perfect woman or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's yep. So
They
yeah,
could afford these.
yeah,
Yeah.
they fucking cyber fuck. It's fucking great.
Off
It
screen.
is. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Yes, off screen, but Jesus Christ,
I don't want to give people the wrong impression of this movie.
the robots fuck.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the boat now.
Do androids dream of electric sleep together?
If that wasn't too long, it's a good episode title.
Yeah.
So we're on the boat. What we were led to believe was a brand new boat being christened is actually a very old boat that was used in the Baltic Wars.
And the first Gulf War of
Yes.
'91. The Great Gulf War
The
of
Great
'91.
Gulf War of '91,
Yeah,
and
that
then,
was
of course,
it
as
was-
you know, the
it was-
Baltic Wars.
It was so great. It was like 30 days.
Yep.
So great.
Yep. So this is a very old boat, and it looks like it, and it's being rechristened into like the Mayor's Plaza or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they're doing security, and Jack and Kane are there, and they're just kind of like they bond over the quickest period of time ever because he's just like, "So, robot, tell me about your robot friends," and he's like, "Cybernauts, Jack. We're cybernauts," and he's like, "Whatever, tell me about your friends," and it's just this odd back and forth that 30 minutes later is kind of resolved to, "Hey, don't make fun of my robot buddy." Because they walk down as the mayor is coming up, and the mayor's guards are just like, "Nah, get that robot out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And she's freaking out. She's like, "Kill that robot!"
Well, and he astutely, like, the alderman is there. Is like, we got this deck covered, we got this deck covered, and then eventually he's like, what about the sea? He's like, cybernauts, we don't need air.
Yeah.
And they're like, get someone in there. And they just cut to like one lone scuba diver coming up out of the water, going like, I don't know. And I was just
Nothing, all good
I
here.
just immediately went to like, we ain't found shit. It's like it's a whole fucking ocean or whatever. But yeah, but the robots are already, the cybernauts are already on the ship.
Yes.
And they've already begun to enact their plan. Which, if you didn't catch before, what they stole, they stole nitroglycerin and red food coloring. Now, if you're confused, it's because I was confused because the cybernaut lady from earlier of the sexing scene
Uh-huh.
is walking up with, I don't understand. Again, they're christening a ship. I don't understand why it's a chilled.
Right.
Like they're bringing her like a champagne chilled thing, but it turns out it's wine.
Yeah.
And she's specifically like
It's red wine.
it's specifically
Cabernet.
red wine. Yeah, it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. and it's like, well, that's not what you use to christen a ship, but also I see what you're doing here, and
I didn't pick up on it until afterwards.
yeah, because Kane is like, I've figured it out because I've spotted her, and Tarzan's into the scene and slaps the wine bottle out of Aaron Gray's hands, which proceeds to fly not into the water, but over onto the dock and explode like a limo
hits a
or something.
car.
Yeah, it hits a car.
The only car in the parking lot, which explodes. And you're like, oh, okay.
By the way, the act of slapping out, if it's true nitroglycerin, the act of
Yeah.
slapping out of her hands would probably be enough to set it off, but that's neither
he's
here
got
nor
a
there.
we
delicate
get
touch.
We get
Yes.
a good explosion out.
Well, yeah, maybe he used his cyber eyes to figure out how to scoop it and not really
Yes.
slap it.
Yep.
Like, her hand's moving this much and compensate, and yeah. But yeah, he just swings in from off screen,
Yeah.
slaps out of her hand, explosion, and then there's a little bit of a gun battle, but they all
Well,
basically
Jack has confronted the lady who's lower deck after, delivering the wine bottle.
right.
And shoots her in the stomach 6 times. Like, man, if you were gonna go for a cyber baby at the end of this, no, you not happening. But of course, that doesn't do anything.
It's not even really like the stomach. It's like it's lower.
Yeah.
He's shooting her in the machine. Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate given the scene we just saw. The scene earlier with the machine
Yes.
was earlier. Is now it's been damaged. It's unclean. I'm gonna stop now.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Zeus is flying overhead in the helicopter.
Uh-huh.
And so Kane is going to shoot Adam and tries to, but kind of misses. And Adam gives him this look like, huh, what are you going to do, huh? And then just fucking Superman jumps 100 feet in the air and just grabs the bottom of the helicopter and they just fly off. And you're like, what the hell?
The skids. We're gonna keep saying it until you eventually say the skids.
I didn't say it wrong. I
This is
just
the
didn't say
bottom
it.
of the helicopter.
You know what I mean.
Yes. The skid.
Yeah. But his reaction to you missed me,
Yeah.
fucker.
It's pretty
just
good.
Nah.
Actually, no, he hits him one time, in the head. And
Oh,
he goes,
yeah.
nice shot, Superman.
Bling.
Yeah, because for the rest of the movie, he's got this,
Yeah.
shiny bit where he
Yeah.
got hit in the side of the head.
And it
changes sides.
Because earlier, we didn't even talk about it. After their first, dust up when, the whole terrorist Die Hard intro, they had to, get fixed up and everything.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they had to, they were basically having an e-peen contest. Literally,
yeah.
where they're like, who's a better shooter out of the shooting range? And I
Right.
thought for sure, because it's one of those where the bad targets and the good targets pop out.
Yeah.
I thought for sure Adam was just gonna be like blam blam blam, hit all the targets, and then somebody would be like, no, Adam, you hit the good guys too. And he's like, does not compute.
Right.
I thought that's
But
where
all
it
the
was
bad
going.
guys are dead. Yeah, that didn't come up at all.
No. But anyway, it was kind of a callback to that of oh, you actually can shoot, and
Yeah.
then just he Superman's out of there.
Yeah.
But
but
yeah, Mandrake girl is dead. She's
because-
about to be dead because
yeah, Scalia shoots a big crate that is just hanging over where she's standing, and it just crushes her.
Yep.
She just flat out crushes her. Also, Kane gets shot and goes flying off the boat because then he's like, help, can't swim because injured or whatever.
He's like, I'm sinking, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Who cares? You don't need oxygen.
You just established that that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's how they got aboard the boat.
But Scalia's just like, I'm coming, and just, full on jumps to get him.
Yeah.
And then we just cut back to the lab where he's getting 3D printed.
Yeah, he gets fixed quickly. It's the fastest 3D print. It's just like, whoop, you're good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I would like to see the body of Mandragora, and he's like, no, she's in quarantine for 24 hours. Anyway,
He calls it detox quarantine.
sure. He's like, whatever. Let's go hang out.
Yeah.
And this is where he takes him to his robot racist bar friends, and then they're like, oh, you're hanging out with a robot. And he's like, hey, fuck you guys. This is my partner.
This guy's all right.
Yeah.
You shut your face.
Let's get a bottle of Jack. And he's like, you know I can't get drunk, right? And he's like, well, let's give you a bigger glass.
Yeah. Well, so he does this thing, dumb future tech, where he pushes a button on the pool table, and they just reverse the film to where someone has hit the brake, and then they just reverse it to where all the balls come back to where they're supposed to be.
Fuck, I believe that was real until just now, Chuck.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
God damn it.
I was amazed.
Yeah,
I thought it was real.
That was a better cyber rack than what was on the Dancer. Whoo! I thought I was done, but I'm not.
Nope.
But yeah, it's like Magna balls, and they self rack.
Yeah.
She was racking that other guy's Magna balls back at the bombed out factory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes,
I do, yeah.
I do.
I just wanted to get in on the action.
So did he.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. So Jack hits like 2 shots. He's just like, see, that's how it's done. Now you try it, you stupid fucking robot.
And of course, he's just over there geometry and everything. Like,
Yeah.
He's like, Jack's just over there, like he's ordered a whole bottle of Jack Daniels, and he's just sitting there like taking his shots, and he's like, you just see him like walking around the pool table, click, clank, and you hear the sound of the ball fall, and he's like, eventually he's like, I've hit all the solid ones. Can I hit the 8 ball now? He's like, no, not yet. Get over here.
Yeah, come drink with me.
And yeah, this is where he's like, you need a big boy glass.
Yeah,
and
he's like, this isn't going to affect me. And he's just like,
he's
whatever,
like,
drink
he
it.
pours like a half a Pilsner glass,
Yeah.
like, like.
Fucking drink it. And he
He
does, and then he just goes back and sinks the 8 ball.
Yeah, he's like, can I shoot the 8 ball now? He's like, yeah, fine, whatever. And
Yeah.
you just hear it thinking. He's like, God damn it.
So then he carries drunk Jack back to his house,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, oh, what's going to happen here?
This is where I was hoping the VR helmet was going to make a second appearance.
It should have, but instead, Kane's been making fun of Jack's car, which is kind of shitty. And so they go out to the garage, and he's just like, you got to fix the thing, and I only work on my car when I'm drunk. That's why it sucks. And then he's like, listen, my dad got fired because of robots, so fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm going to fix this car.
900 Americans out of work, and it tells basically this whole story of like, yeah, my dad said he was going to quit a lot, and so he came and borrowed my shotgun, and he shot his own head off.
Blew his head off.
It's because of robots. So fuck you.
And then he just starts sleeping. He just starts snoring under
Well,
the car.
yeah, because he gets the roller thing is like under the
he
car.
tells the suicide man. This is the worst thing for an actor because he's giving like what should be the most heartfelt monologue of the movie, and the whole speech that he gives about his dad blowing his own head off with his own shotgun is while he is obscured under this car, and then he falls asleep.
Yep.
To which Kane just keeps going, Jack, 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 and then you just cut to. He's taken Jack inside and put him in a chair, and he's sitting in the cyber chair just staring at him to where when Jack wakes up, he's like, what the?
Holy shit. This is the future. Have you seen Twilight? That's creepy as fuck. Don't do that,
Don't
dude.
do that. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like, I guess we got to go. So they go, and he starts up the car, and he's just like, why is my car running so good? And he's like, don't you remember fixing it last night? And he was like, well, I was drunk.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Wow, man.
I watched it too, huh? And Kane's just like, yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You sure did. Anyway, see ya. So yeah, they drive off.
Yeah. Trying to remember. Is it? Oh, all right. So this is like the quarantine is up on the lady,
Right.
So
they go see the lady.
yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he goes and like, it's weird because like she's now full on like burnt off flesh Terminator husk, except
for a full head of hair.
yeah, it's almost like they put a new wig on her just so you'd be like, oh, that's the lady bot.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like full
There's
head
still
of hair.
tatters of her clothes as well.
Sure, I guess.
It
Also-
should have just been a skeleton.
Also,
laying
she
there.
never burned. She just had a giant crate dropped on her.
Yeah.
Why did all her skin come off?
Why did all her flesh come off?
I don't know.
It grated. The crate grated.
Oh,
It was a great crate.
yeah. It's
So-
great,
Oh,
great
oh,
crate.
yeah,
so
great
it
crate.
grated the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway,
fucking knows. Stupid
Kane
idiot.
reaches into her skull and pulls out this weird cyber hexic thing and puts it into a cube, and then she's just like, "Oh hey, where am I?" And
That's your positronic. They almost say positronic
They almost
matrix.
do.
It's just like, yeah, but she's like, where am I? It's dark and I'm alone.
yeah,
And he's like,
Kane's
where
like,
are
"I'm
they?
here."
And he's like, no, they are preserving. And he's like, no, they're the ones that are fucking up. You got
Yeah.
to tell me where they are. She's like, they're in whatever old
The
mill.
steel mill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
there.
thanks. Bye. Click.
She just pulls it right out.
End of line. Kidding.
Yeah. Enjoy death. Yeah.
So yeah, now they know where to go.
Yep. And they go there.
Yeah, they're scouting the place out, and apparently they've called in backup. But
Yes, because Kane is like, "Are you sure you do not want to wait for the backup you have called?" And Jack's like, "No, let's fucking do this."
well, yeah, because they get to a point where they're just walking around the place, and then he's like, "Where would you go?" And he's like, "I would probably hide up there." And he's like, "All right, let's go." And that's when he's like, "You want backup?" He's like, "Nah, let's do this."
Because this is like the third time Jack says to him, like, "Kiss my butt." He's just like, "Why do you want me to kiss your butt so bad? Do you have some sexual fetish I do not know about?" And Jack's just like, "Fuck you, come on." Yeah. So this just starts third act stunt spectacular, explosion of palooza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't mention that beyond taking this abandoned steel mill as their base, there have been 2 like future buggies sitting outside that haven't gotten used up to this point.
No, you saw them when they first got
Yeah.
there, and you're like, "Did they go there to steal those things?"
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just apparently the future punks had these as their means of travel. They don't travel in fucking Tercels.
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
We're cyberpunks.
You
So-
keep your Mazda 626.
Yeah. So they've got these weird dune buggies. And this just Jack has revealed that he has explosive bullets.
Yep.
He has a super duper gun that has explosive bullets.
Yeah. He showed it off in the firing range when they were at the Genesis lab from earlier.
Yeah. So this just starts
Yeah, they just
shooting.
pair him off. Like, Kane has to go kill Adam.
Yeah.
And then, Jack's stunting around with Oh no, actually no. I'm sorry. Kane stunts around with Zeus for a while.
Yes.
That's because there's a
Yeah.
horrific buggy accident. Like there are several stunts that look like they're about to go wrong.
Yep.
Until eventually it's like no stunt spectacular explosion time.
Yeah, they both hit something that explodes, and then they just
Yeah.
do the
Flip,
whole corkscrew
tumble, yeah.
thing through it. One of them more worse.
Yeah. Kane basically gets out as like just a scratch.
Yeah.
Like anyway, I gotta go deal with Adam, and then he's just like you finish off him, and yeah, Zeus is just like half his face melted, eye about falling out. And like, I think he's had like one arm melted off like the whole time, just wearing gloves and shit.
Yeah.
Because like they haven't been able to go back and get 3D printed new stuff. So,
Right.
But yeah, at this point it's just like he goes over to him and he's like pinned into the thing and can barely move and he's just like, haha, what do you think, buddy? And the guy's like trying to reach for him with like his robot arm.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, it's kind of like this is happening concurrently to like Kane now fighting Adam.
Yeah, Kane and Adam are throwing each other through walls
Right.
like Fast Five style.
I'm saying like I'm pretty sure this was right after because like Kane was doing the driving and just kind of gets out and is like, I'm fine, I'm gonna go deal with him.
Yeah.
I feel like Adam shot at them with something, maybe a grenade launcher.
Maybe
that might have even been what set off the corkscrew explosion.
Maybe. I don't know. But
It's,
yeah.
it's,
That might
it's
have been,
cha-
or-
it's chaos.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot going on in this last act.
Yeah, so I mean there's a lot of shooting at each other.
But I'll just finish it off. Like like I said, Zeus is dying in the car.
Yes.
And he's just like reaching for him, and then like, he's like, you want to play? You want to have some fun or whatever? And he just like takes a couple steps back, pulls out a Zippo,
Yep.
and like bends down to the ground. And we never saw that there was a gas leak or anything, but
You could hear
Sure,
splashing on the ground.
But like he just like lights the trail of gas that's going to the car. And the robot dude is just like no, and then finally he's like middle finger.
Yep. And man, Jack Scalia is just like whatever, dude.
Well, Jack Scalia gets an amazing like cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah.
Actually, Adam got a real like the best one in all of it.
Yes.
The hologram man got one sometime earlier. Fuck, I don't remember when or
It's
why.
during the scene.
Yeah.
Like he explodes.
He gets
something.
like literally it looks like it could be from that music video.
Yes.
The Lonely Island thing.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, but yeah, like he just gives him the middle finger, and then Jack Scalia gets like the briefest of cool guys don't look at explosions as he explodes, and then he's just like, I don't think he even turns around.
He doesn't.
He's just like middle finger up, like behind him, and is like, no, fuck
Yeah.
you, guy.
Yeah. No, actually, fuck me. Nah, fuck you.
Yeah.
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 So
It's pretty good, and then he's kind of done for the most part. There's one point where a stuntman is running through. That's so obviously not Jack Scalia.
No.
Like there's,
Yeah.
I think he was like chasing after the car chase or
well,
something.
they're setting off so many explosions
Yeah.
near the stuntman, and there's a lot of like stuntman falling down mountains of rubble, and not like cushiony looking, like
No.
very sharp brick looking blocks.
There are multiple stunt things that look like they really hurt. We glanced right over it. In the chaos of the Die Hard opening, there is one poor lady that like they're
God.
being herded down a hallway, and one lady's just like screaming like no.
Well, she falls down and takes the terrorist down with her.
Yeah, and he picks her up and just slams her against the wall, like face
She got
first.
wrecked.
Like it was
Yeah.
just like, was that?
I don't think that was scripted.
planned? Like what the?
I think
shit?
that dude got pissed that the lady pulled him down.
I was pretty kind of
Because if you look at the faces of the other people in that scene, they are fucking horrified,
yeah.
and not in an acting way. They were just like, "Oh my god, dude."
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of stunting in this. But anyway, it ends up being Kane is now fighting Adam, and yeah, they are. Unfortunately, they're not well masked, pre-cut holes in this wall.
No.
Like they're totally different colors than the wall.
Yeah,
but
it's very obvious, but it's still good.
Yeah, but it's just like they are just wall after wall throwing each other through what are supposed to be cement block walls.
Yeah, and this is when
doors and everything.
Yeah, this is when Adam pulls out his weird lightsaber weapon again,
Mm-hmm.
and this time, stabs Kane with it.
Right.
But this is when you see the shot that it's like an elongated like laser lightsaber thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, why weren't they using that the whole time?
Yeah.
But save your super weapon for when it
But yeah,
counts.
Kane basically gets killed, and then like there's a moment where Jack gets to come over to him and be like, "All right, come on, let's go." And he's like, "No, he got me like right through the power source
my
or whatever."
cyber matrix
He's like,
is-
"I'm dying." He's like, "Yeah, good one. Come on,
Yeah.
you're a robot. You can't die." And he's like, "Cybernaut, god damn it."
Yep.
He's like, and then he's just like, you can't die. You're my friend." He's like, "I've never had a friend." Dead, cyber dead.
Yep.
So yeah, and then
Adam runs away.
yeah, he I think this is like he causes a cool guys don't look at explosion. That's
Yeah.
how he gets away.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh well, he got away, and he's gonna have to go back in town and try to kill the mayor.
Yes, which he immediately, like the next scene
Oh, yeah,
is
he's
just
like-
the mayor standing in an office, like having some scotch, and he just shows up behind her and tries to grab her, but haha, it's a hologram,
Man.
man.
Yeah.
So yeah, she dusts out of there,
And while
then,
laughing at him, like
Yeah.
like they pre-programmed the hologram
Right.
just to wait for the right moment. Of course, she could have just been like in the other room acting out
Sure.
the scene.
Yeah.
You know.
Who knows?
Who
Either
knows?
way, she laughs at him.
Yeah, she does laugh at it as like as she's hologram dusting
Haha,
away.
you jerk.
But man, they all come in, and she's just like, "Kill him, Jack! Kill him!
Yeah.
Kill him!" And he's like, "No, he has to submit. I've learned
It's
the
a weird
ways
reasoning.
of the cybernauts, and
Yeah.
they
They're-
have to submit."
They are my friends.
Yeah, and he's just Adam is like, "So what's going to happen to me?" And it's like, "You're going to be disassembled." And he's like, no, that's bad."
We know this can't happen,
Yeah,
right? You know,
it's
like,
like
does
you're not going to let
compute.
me do any. You're not going to reprogram me or anything. So what happens is Adam goes out the window for like the movie's 9th high flight defenestration, fucking lands in Jack's car
in the back seat.
and just hops into the driver's seat and
doesn't like land in it. Just gently
Yeah.
settles down into it. It's a very graceful drop.
I mean, it's almost like what you would do if you were like hopping in the back of a convertible, just like
Yes.
the whoop. But imagine from like the 10th floor.
it was like a what?
yeah.
and then he just hops into the driver's seat and peels out like, "Ha!"
Yeah.
And you're like, "The hell?"
It's like Ducky. Yeah.
Get
the fuck in here. Yeah.
Yep. And so you just cut to Jack standing up there watching this, and Aaron Gray's like, "Jack," and he's like,
Yeah. Sorry,
"Sorry, Betsy."
Yeah, I think that's the name of the car.
And just fires an explosive bullet at this car, which explodes.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, okay, that's the end.
Yeah. He goes back to the cyber lab to just say goodbye to
Kane.
Kane.
Yeah. Who's
and
no
then,
longer able
Yeah.
to move.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he goes home and pulls out Kane's brain from his pocket and puts it. He now has the box on his coffee table and puts it in there. And he's
My
like,
God, he's got Kane's brain.
"That Kane had a family."
He did. Cyber
Yep,
family.
He
Yeah.
did. Yeah. And he's just like, "Hey, buddy,
Yeah.
you're gonna live here now on my coffee table. I'm gonna teach you how to play cards. Here you go."
Yeah, this is how you play 21. Oh, look, you got a blackjack. Hooray.
And so it
He's
cut-
like, don't you go cheating. You're counting cards on me. And then, like, the very last line
it
of the movie.
fades to black, and then there's a little more dialogue
Yeah, he just goes, hey,
where
Jack,
Kane goes and kisses my butt.
it's my butt, Jack.
It's like, the fuck? Your best friend lives on your coffee table now? This is
Also-
horrific.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't make him a new body.
Yeah.
We didn't even explain that earlier in the scene. They did put in JokeBot 3000 into these guys.
They did,
Because
yeah.
as they were fixing up Adam after the Die Hard dust up,
Yeah.
he was basically like, am I going to still be beautiful, doctor? And then, like, the lab assistant or whatever is like, I don't know. What do you think, Mandrake lady? I'm going to stop even trying to say her. Mandragora. What do you think, Mandragora? And she's like, I don't know. I think he's already kind of pretty. Ha 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 ha. And they all just like start making jokes. and-
Yeah. Because Malibu gets it last. He's just like sitting there and he's just like, oh, ha ha. Oh, because no, they're repairing Malibu's hand.
Right.
And one of them says, "Can I lend you a hand, Malibu?" He's just like sitting there stone faced. And then like 30 seconds later just starts going, it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fuck, this movie's over.
Yeah, it is. This movie's amazing. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I know I'm gonna probably be alone in this, but this is a Five Jocks movie for me. I fucking love this movie.
Okay.
I fucking adored this movie.
All right.
This movie is my shit. It's not as good as Hologram Man.
No.
I will say that right off the bat.
Yeah.
I admit that, but
It's kind of because we were going into this as a known quantity now. It's
Sure.
like, okay, we know what these guys are capable of. Let's see what they do.
and I'm surprised because that usually is a recipe for disappointment. I am not the least bit disappointed. Again, it's not a Five Jocks level like Hologram Man, but I'm not giving this 4 Jocks. I fucking love this movie.
Okay.
I adore this movie. It is so stupid and amazing, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can't say anything. We've already talked enough about it.
Okay.
I'm not ready to vote.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I very early on was like, this might be a Five Jocks movie. This thing's fucking glorious.
I was at that from the opening, like, screen filling Michael Bay, here's your Cybernauts thing. And I was just like, well, all right, it can only go downhill from here, and it really didn't. Not for me.
I mean, like, even like just the incidental scenes of dialogue, it's either Jack Scalia really trying hard to be entertaining or robots fucking. I mean, it's like whenever there's not explosions, there's something interesting going on.
I'll put it this way. When that scene happened and the T-Force logo came up, I said, we need to change the slider on our page. I haven't said that in 5 years or more.
At least.
There hasn't been a new picture in that slider.
We're extraordinarily lazy about that.
Yeah.
Lazy
But-
/ like, I haven't seen anything where it was like, that's a good frame.
I think Arena is the newest thing on that.
No. Like,
think
that
so.
Michael Bay Victoria's Secret thing was
Oh,
fairly
okay.
new.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Kevin Sorbo Cole, I had to...
Okay.
I think that might be one of the last ones I threw in there was
Okay.
him making out with that
Right.
demon thing. at the end.
Right. Which horrifies me because it's always like that's the default. Like when you first go there, it's like, oh god.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
anyway,
well, maybe we'll add this and we'll make that
Okay.
the new default.
sure. Well,
T-Force.
yes, it's a Five Jocks movie. It's for this kind of genre, it is one of the best things because it's like it's weird. It's low budget, but it has a budget.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain. It's like obviously this can't compete with your Total Recalls and your
Oh, no.
Terminators and stuff.
You can see the seams all over this place.
But still, it's just like they're fucking going for it. They're not shying away from anything.
Yep.
They're committed to like their dumb, weird, foldy flip camera phone things and just weird, dumb future tech.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a way where they're just shouting at you that it's the future, dumbasses. Like I said, like it took me a while to go, oh, right, it's the near... What the hell?
Yeah, we don't have Cybernauts yet.
Yeah. But I was like totally okay with that until like they got to the rubble and I was like, wait, no, this is not now.
They didn't do us the favor of putting like a Los Angeles 2025.
Exactly.
It will always be the future. And yet, somehow the past.
Yeah. Because, the movie starts in normal-ass L.A., and you're just like, okay. But, yeah, it's fucking great. It's so goddamn enjoyable. I mean, I was giggling all through this thing. Every bit of dialogue is so silly. And the robots fuck.
Mm-hmm. I sure do.
You don't have to side with us, BJ.
I know.
Excuse me.
I don't have to cyber with you guys either.
Ain't me.
I don't even know where my phone is. Oh, it's in my pants.
Space pants.
So this movie does a lot of things that you kind of expect other movies to do that don't, like the robot not quite fucking sequence, and the woman getting shot full of holes when she's being fireman carried. Like,
Yeah.
that's stuff that actually happens in a parody of these movies. Like, you get it in your Scream or
Naked Gun.
Naked Guns, yeah.
Sure. Loaded weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or scary movies or whatever. Any of those parody sort of things. But you don't get them in a serious movie.
Right.
Which is really oddly endearing.
It's not poking fun of that either. It's
it just does it.
It's like, oh, yeah, this would happen.
God damn it. There was so much in this movie that I totally forgot that we meant. When they first show up at the hideout. Like, they're walking through, like, he's like, I would go in that building, and they don't find the people for a while. And they're just walking through,
Holy shit.
and they're like, well, gun, there's some of that mercury, a little bit of nitroglycerin over it. And he's like, bomb, and he's like, what?
Oh,
He goes, bomb? He's like, bomb!
3, 2.
Yeah, and they go running out, and we get the like double dive out of a
Oh,
it's
explosion
fucking
thing.
glorious,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's like there's so much shit. It's hard to keep track of.
The
how
way
much.
he just casually says bomb,
Gun,
and then
gun,
Jack is
gun,
like,
gun, bomb.
"What?"
Bomb? Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even like bomb, 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 bomb. You just
Yeah.
can't get rid of a bomb. It's like he says, gun, knife, cigarette, nitroglycerin, bomb.
Yeah.
And Jack goes, bomb?
And it's like
And they just
2,
run.
Yeah.
And they
1.
just run.
Yeah. He kind of pushes Kane because Kane's just like, I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
I'll be fine. I still have access to the 3D printer back at the
Yeah.
place.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and there are moments that are genuinely funny. The explosions per hour is a really good ratio, and there are really fucking great explosions in this movie. Like, what was it? Was it Stealth? Was that the one with
That's the biggest one we've ever
That's
seen.
literally the biggest explosion
the
ever
fucking
captured
hangar?
on film.
Stealth and I think Wraith? Those are like the top tier BMFcast.
Wraith wasn't like it,
Wa-
it wasn't.
Was Wraith the
Wraith's
one,
the
where the barn
it-
explodes?
Yeah, I was
into
gonna say it's
toothpicks?
it's
Yeah.
not flame explosion.
No, but it's a good fucking explosion.
It's the tooth picking of the
Right.
building.
And this one doesn't quite have any on the scale of either of those, but the ones they have are really, really good looking and close, like danger close to the actors / stunt people.
I'm sure the police station was a model because but
Yeah.
that's like a 2 or 3 stage explosion when that goes off.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's almost like I feel like one of the explosions almost like launched a fireball into the other part of
It
the
did.
police building.
Like
yeah.
a piece of the main building hits the secondary building, which then explodes.
Yeah.
The explosion out of the side of the building when that C4 goes off in the beginning is fucking glorious.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything wrong with this movie. Like, there are some blushes of some other movies that we've completely and totally panned. Like, there's a little bit of that in Jack's character. There's a little bit of that, like, just a touch of like Buckaroo Banzai sort of smarm, but it works. I did not expect to like Jack Scalia when I saw him, and he made everything about his character work really well. The cyber dancer was probably the worst part of this movie, which is saying something because she's not bad.
No.
Like she's doing a really good job of being a shitty robot dancer.
Yeah.
In this shitty bar.
But like she doesn't take her clothes off.
No, she's just
so
dancing.
There's
It's
no
weird.
reason not to have the waitress be that person.
Sure, sure.
That's just silly.
The waitress, the director was probably trying to sleep with her and gave her a speaking role.
Probably.
That's my guess.
Oh, you're much better than
Yeah.
a voiceless stripper, baby.
Yeah, you've got talent.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Who knows? I don't. Anyway,
I like that Jack tries to set her up with
with
Kane.
Kane.
When they go back to the bar, he's like, "Oh, you two have a lot in common."
Don't short circuit.
And
so
she's
all
like,
that-
"Ooh, a robot man."
Robones. Love
Take
all
you to
these
the Robones Bone Zone.
Robone zone. I think I can confidently agree that this is a Five Jocks movie. I'm sad that Mackie was not here to see this.
It seems to keep happening.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying, like we'll have these mediocre movies, and he's here, and then we're like, Five Jocks movie. And
That's his own damn fault.
Who the hell knows with these things?
yeah, you never know.
No way going into this.
Did he miss
knowing-
Hologram Man too?
We didn't watch Hologram Man 2. We watched Hologram Man.
Dick.
No, he was here for that.
Okay.
He gave it 4 jocks.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a break.
Let's take a
shall
break.
we?
Yeah.
Break. All you people watching the debate didn't get to see a live Five Jockson.
Yeah, it's a rare treat.
Oh yeah, I need it. Break. I don't know why this bothered me more than before. I think probably because it was really long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? All right.
Side bones.
Yeah. The Waitress is in a bunch of movies that sound like porn, but they're actually not. And one episode of Married with Children. Yeah. Any hot news from the debates?
Debate happened.
I haven't seen any news alerts, so no one made a total fool out of themselves. These were mostly the lower tier candidates on this one, right? And Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren, Bill de Blasio.
Ugh.
Like, not that he's a high tier candidate or
No.
anything, but he is high.
He's a name.
Right. Amy Klobuchar. Amy Kombucha.
She's the mean lady.
Yeah, she is. She's going directly to hell. she's getting the fucking curly slide into hell. Because she's mean, not because of anything else. Let's see. Waffle? No, that's the wrong chat. Tulsi Gabbard. Like, these are a lot of the B tier folks, but
Right.
some Delaney guy. I don't
Oh, John Delaney?
Yeah, no, not John Delaney. I saw John Delaney walking down the street downtown the other day.
Dana
Wow.
Delaney?
No,
Ooh.
Pinky and the Brainy.
I'd vote for Dana Delaney.
And maniacs. Those are our snacks. Whack.
While Bill Clinton plays the sax.
Boy, there's an intro of a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Ben Vereen,
Uh-huh.
the size of a lima bean.
Yeah. Is Coffee Guy still running? Or did he quit?
Coffee guy?
The Starbucks guy.
Mm-hmm.
Former Starbucks chairman.
I literally pay zero attention at this point.
He was like one of the first to announce it, and everyone was like, no, fuck you. And he was just like, yeah, but I'm running. And everyone was like, no, fuck you. And he was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I haven't heard anything about him since, but he made the rounds there for like a week.
He doesn't give a crappuccino.
Howard something. Howard.
Howard.
Todd
E.
Howard.
Howard.
Mo Howard.
Ron
Yes, Ron Howard.
Howard the Duck.
Opie Cunningham.
Opie Cunningham.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I think about that all the time for some reason. Opie Cunningham. No, my name is Ron Howard, damn it.
Opie Cunningham.
I'm a director. So weird. Howard Starbucks.
Howard Starbucks.
The fuck's your name? Howard Schultz.
Schultz.
That's him. Are you running?
Mm. I'm sitting down, Chuck. I'm waiting for the answer.
Is your Howard Schultz running?
You better go turn it on,
You can't do that on television show.
I don't know.
What was the other one? What was the one that got... Well, saying water got you water. There's I don't know, and there's something else.
Mm-mm. Any mention of any kind of water got water. Saying I don't know got you.
I feel like there was
slimed.
another like single word thing you could say besides water that got you.
Come.
Yes.
I missed that season. You really can't do that on television. You can't do that on television. XXX. This ain't.
Yeah, they're saying you can't do that on television. You ought to know what it was.
I think it was just the two, unless you're
All right.
talking about a season I didn't see when I had moved on to turkey television.
That could be confusing with like fucking Double Dare or some bullshit.
Double Dare would get you goopy.
Did you? I thought if you just like
Double
said
Dare.
slime.
Get you goopy.
Maybe if you just said slime for some reason you got slimed.
No.
I don't know.
You had that's yes. You say I don't know. That's what got you slimed. Because they would always trick each other.
Mhm.
They were jerks like that. They were
Hey, Chuck.
Canadian jerks.
Canucks.
What are you doing?
I'm looking it up. I'm curious now. I don't want to see him get slimed. I want to know about this.
I want to see him get slimed.
I don't want to see him get slimed. Oh, Wikipedia's still down.
Nope, Wikipedia's up.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Jimmy Wells take Wikipedia down? because we didn't give him
I
$3.
clicked on the link and it.
Oh, pies.
It's being
You say
real,
pies?
It's being real slow. Real slow. And everyone was like, I can't go to Wikipedia now. I must look at it all.
Pies were not usually triggered by any certain word or trigger phrase, although in the early years, saying, let me have it or give it to me would frequently result. I'm down like Wikipedia.
Are you reading the Laugh-In Wikipedia? Because that sounds like a Laugh-In gag.
That sounds like a laughing gag.
Shut up.
Would frequently result in a pieing. No, I'm reading the you can't do
I don't
that
remember
on
anybody getting
television.
pied.
One whole episode, 1981's Drugs, was constructed completely around the pie in the face gag to avoid the wrath of the censors. The episode showed the cast getting high by pieing themselves continuously over and over,
Let's get pie.
comparing the stupidity of hitting oneself with a pie to the stupidity of taking drugs.
Oh, clever. Good job.
When someone said
Good
the word
job, Canada.
water, wash, or wet, a large amount of ice-cold water mysteriously cascaded onto them from above.
Mysteriously.
This was also an homage to Laugh-In, which featured their similar Sock It To Me sketches. In the early years of the show, cast members... Hi, welcome to BJ Reads Wikipedia to you.
Is your Wikipedia still down?
You don't
Let
know
BJ
anything
read it to
funny
you.
like Ruth Buzzy.
Ruth Buzzy.
I printed Wikipedia out
Ruth Buzzy
yesterday
makes
in
me moist.
anticipation.
Yeah.
Makes me have a wet, hot American summer. Yeah. More like arts and farts and crafts. Anyway, let's do a second half, shall we?
Okay.
All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Half number
Time
two.
for more happen.
It's a me.
What?
Yeah.
He went, woohoo.
I was just a general woohoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just general.
Okay.
Non-character.
Nice to meet you, General Woo. Thank you for your service.
Please call me Woo. General Woohoo is my father.
Oh.
I have some movies. Am I the only one to watch some movies?
I got some movies.
Yes.
Yeah, you're it.
Oh, really? All right. So I have two movies to talk about. One will be slightly about the movie, but more. I'm just going to warn you.
A tale.
There might be some soapboxing about to happen. Is all I'm going to say. Old man soapboxing may occur.
Someone's
Oh,
gonna
I know
have
what
to
you're gonna
get
do.
off your lawn.
So I'll go ahead and I'll cover that first because I'll end on a positive note.
All right.
So I figured I had not had time to go see Dark Phoenix. So I figured if not now, it's home video time because that's about to disappear apparently, according to everybody's. Except for it might be getting a second resurgence because they're like, hey, this is about to disappear. 'Cause I was not in a very large theater, but I'm pretty sure just about every seat was packed.
Okay.
Yeah. So
How is it?
the movie's fine. I feel like it's not awesome. I mean, it's not the best X-Men movie ever. But I also feel a little bit like it's just that movie of the year where it's just like I'm just so sick of all these X-Mans, thing. Or it's that Tom Cruise mummy thing. I feel like every year somebody's like that movie, fuck that movie before it even happens. I don't know if it's the delays or they were like reshoots or
Reshoots are the key word.
sure. Or
The internet hears about reshoots and they're like, "Oh man, fuck that."
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I mean,
Solo.
yeah, it's fine. Like I mean, in fact, in some points, it's actually pretty good. I think the first 30 minutes of it is some of my favorite X-Men movie thing ever because it's in a timeline in a time where the world is like, we know about mutants and the X-Men and we fucking love them.
Oh, that's rare.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like, hey, it could be fun to be an X-Man and be a superhero, like for the first time ever. Like never has this shit been grimdark. Every single X-Men thing is grimdark. Like
yeah, they're always getting spit on.
Hiding.
Yeah.
Like don't let anyone know that we exist, and if we do exist, they're gonna be like fuck you. Yeah, which I get. I mean that's kind of no. I'm saying that's like what X-Men's core thing is about. It's racism later turned homophobia.
Sure.
Allegories,
But this does take place in the 90s, right?
Sure.
It's when no one gave a shit about anything.
Right. So I mean, it's cool because it's like we're in a world where like they go do a cool X-Men thing and like save the day, And then like they're greeted with like basically almost like a ticker tape parade. People are like, "Fuck yeah, X-Men, you rule!" And like there's people have shirts and like, "I love you, Gene. I love you, Nightcrawler." You know, it's like, yes, finally, it's like, yeah, the X-Men are fucking cool. Like, maybe it's time you realize that. And then of course it turns Grimgar because that's what they always do eventually. But yeah, I mean the movie's fine. It's obviously rushed for the storyline. You know, like it was supposed to be 2 movies and all of that kind of nonsense. And they're never going to make the fucking Dark Phoenix that you want. Just like you've got to get over it.
They've tried twice.
They've tried twice, and it's apparently hasn't worked either time. I think this works better. It's still not what you're. It's not what you're thinking it's going to be. It's not comic accurate. You know, it's all that. You know, but it's fine. Like it's a perfectly watchable movie, and I just feel like it's just one of those things where people pick their reason that they pre-hate it or whatever reason. I know a lot of people hate Sophie Turner. Obviously, she has a much bigger role in this,
Right.
Like a lot of people just absolutely straight up hate her.
Why?
I don't know. But like when she started getting a bigger role on Game of Thrones, a lot of people are like, "Oh fuck." Like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
I don't whatever. So if you I'm just listing the reasons why you could have reasons to hate this movie. If you don't like her, obviously she's got a bigger role now. She's got the main role in the movie now.
Right. Let me ask you the most important question.
Yeah.
Tell me about Dazzler.
They stealth dropped Dazzler. Yeah. It's early on. And the crazy thing is like it kind of happened so fast, and I was just so like, this is weird that this is happening, and this is how this is happening, that I didn't even notice that it's Halston Sage, who was from the first season of the Orville, that it was like, that's who Dazzler was.
Huh.
And I was so literally dazzled by the fact that this was happening on screen because she's pretty much full on the Dazzler outfit you want, minus roller skates.
Oh,
yeah,
not rollerblades.
No,
at least
it doesn't really matter. Like when they're celebrating the cool shit that they just did that I mentioned, it's still, like I said, it's early on in the movie. They're basically like, yeah, go out in the woods and have a fucking party. You deserve it, X-Men. Like,
sure.
Let's drink it up, whatever, have fun. You know, like your kids. And so they're having a party in the woods, and Dazzler's just fucking performing for them, shooting lights and everything, like Dazzler's supposed to be doing.
Huh.
So they're just having a good old time in the woods, and there's Dazzler putting on a show.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like it's never like she's never named. It's never just like she's just there, like putting on a show.
All right.
Yeah, and they're all having a good time. So anyway.
I've asked other people about Dazzler, and their reaction has been, "Dazzler's in the movie." So
like they saw the movie and big fans, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Before a year ago, I would not have had any knowledge. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I get it.
Roller skates would have been silly in the woods, but yeah,
I suppose. Yeah, that probably doesn't make sense.
But,
so
yeah, otherwise accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fine. Like I mean, it's I never at some point was like, oh yeah, obvious reshoot. Like there's all these things. Like they know what the fuck they're doing. Generally speaking, it's not like you can just be like obvious reshoot, except for like when people do dumb shit like not schedule your movie around the fact that the guy has to have a mustache for another movie.
Right.
Like, there's dumb things that movies do that people then will try to defend. But this that they like actually kind of competently put together, oh, it's the worst thing ever. It's like, did you not see that other abomination where there was a whole bunch wrong with it?
Yeah.
And now you're like coming back around. So expect in like 2 years' time, people will now tell you that secretly Dark Phoenix was the best X-Men movie of all. Because it will get back around to that. Obviously,
will.
I'm saying it's fine. It's not the best X-Men movie, but it's acceptable.
Let me at least ask you this: obviously, it's going to be the last X-Men movie of this timeline because it's going to get rebooted because Fox got sold to Disney. Blah blah blah. Does it end?
It gives a somewhat of an ending, like to the whole thing.
I mean, I know
it does a nice little bookend thing.
Okay, because I was gonna say I know like this group of actors has not had
this is
the luck.
Their fourth movie.
I know they've had a lot of chances, but it doesn't seem like there's as much attachment to most of them as there was for the first batch. Like the first batch was just like, oh my god, these people,
which is stupid because there's like 1.25 good movie out of the first 3 X-Men movies.
Yes.
If that, I'm being generous.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm being generous. Like, and I know, like it's like a lot of things. It's like people that grew up with the N64 think it's the best system, and it's like, no, it was hot fucking garbage, and it still is.
But
there's still some good games. Don't get me wrong. Like some of your casting choices, Hugh Jackman, fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, these things are good. Some of the others, are they? I mean, don't get me wrong. Famke Janssen is awesomely hot, but she doesn't bring a lot to that role. And I've said, I don't really have anything personally against Halle Berry, but rewatching the X-Men movies will make you go like, wow, she's a terrible actress. Because in those movies, she's a fucking terrible actress. She non-emotes that whole fucking trilogy.
Yeah.
Excessively. Like, and I'm just saying, like, everything you think is like you have fond memories for, I will grant you, I had them at the time. It's when you go back to it, because like
Sure.
at the time you're like, holy shit, I think we might actually get real superhero movies that like aren't Nick Fury television movies.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, we love Dolph Lundgren and Punisher, but like we were expecting a lower grade of things, and then it was like, we're gonna do this for real. It was suddenly like, holy shit, here we go.
Yeah.
You know, so going back, they're not great. Like X2 is the closest you get to a good movie there.
Correct.
Yeah. All like through and through. The other two are not particularly great.
You're right.
Yeah.
None of them are first class.
No. Like I said, just if you threw in some of the effort from Kelsey Grammer Beast into First Class, you would have the perfect X-Men movie.
Kind of would, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of would.
Some of the effort, just a little. But anyway, it's fine. It's
Yes.
a perfectly acceptable X-Men movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
moving on. Now, I will say it's also probably going to be I'm not going to get on a hyperbolic thing and say it's the last movie I'm ever going to see in a theater. But it's about to be close to it. I am fucking done with theater going experiences. I am partially cursed, I feel like, to just continually somehow luck into having the worst theater experience possible. Be it human, technical, combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least you didn't get burned out of a theater like Chuck.
That would be preferable to the two of the last ones I've had. Honestly,
Yeah,
I getting kicked out and instead of just like sitting there angry, unable to control another human's behavior is, I think, preferable. Like technical, I can emotionally deal with technical. Shit happens. I understand that. People happening is not an excuse.
This won't make any difference to the home audience, but I must know.
Mm-hmm.
Which theater?
It's an AMC.
Was it Orange Park?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because my luck had been so bad at Orange Park, I was like, let me roll the dice on the other way.
Okay.
And
John Wick 3 worked out for us.
Yeah.
At
So
that theater.
But no, this was all right. If you've been to an AMC theater of recent, you know they have the nice red reclining seats. Well, not all of them. Some of them are black, but like the first go around of revamped AMC theaters got those nice reclining leather chair things.
Mm-hmm.
They still have the first version of them. Other ones have some slightly newer ones with the controls up on top, where you don't accidentally jostle yourself by moving your leg wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They've figured out maybe putting the controls by your knee is not the best idea. But this theater, like, all right, so one of the chairs in the row literally looked like someone took a knife to it. Just fucking slashed, like, to shit.
It's probably some asshole who had, like, some bullshit on his belt and
I mean, it was everywhere, like,
Yeah.
bottom, top, leg part, everywhere. It was like someone literally slashed it.
No, I mean, honestly,
yeah.
that could have happened, too. That theater
Yeah, I know. It's a dead area of town.
is in a... Yeah.
But neither of our theaters in that chain are in good parts of town. The numbers. This is before the movie started. The numbers were all completely removed from my row.
Oh, good.
So like you have assigned seating, but it was just kind of like you show up and you're like, here I'm sitting here. I guess I don't know. I'm not going to count. You know, like how many chairs down this is,
Right.
or like not even that, but like in the middle one there was like an 18, and this was a row of like 8 or 10. So I don't even know where they found an 18. Like from another theater, I guess. Like an actual different one in the place.
So this was a piecemeal theater.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Like I don't know what happened. I feel like someone deliberately just was like, I'm gonna fuck up the numberings on these chairs.
Oh, probably.
I don't know.
Because that, honestly, it is next to a mall that is dying a slow and horrible death.
Sure.
In an area of town that is dying a slow and horrible death.
Mm-hmm.
This is also like, okay, I don't want to keep harping on just that theater, that one particular theater.
Yeah.
This theater has no garbage cans outside. Period. Not a one. But yet, if you walk in with something in your hand, it's like, you can't bring that in here. And it's like, well, fuckface, if there was a garbage can outside, I would have disposed of it. But you have none. So, like, one side, like...
You mean outside the building?
Outside the building, period.
Huh, weird.
Like, you cannot... Like, you have to walk inside...
They're probably tired of people throwing guns in there.
But so like they were optimistic when they built this theater. It's got 24 screens. There are 2 ticketing stands like the
Right.
the windows or whatever. So one side hasn't been open in years. Like
Yeah.
they've just closed one,
Yeah.
and they've actually have the automatic.
The rats have that now.
The automatic ticket things are sat in front of where you're supposed to walk up and talk to a person because that side hasn't been open in probably 10 years. All of them were out of order. So first
Yeah,
off,
of
so I
course.
didn't get my paper.
'cause of the guns.
I didn't get my paper ticket because the line was ridiculous for getting the regular. Like I didn't pre-buy a ticket, so I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I got to get over the collecting paper ticket stubs thing.
Yeah.
Which is funny because now I kind of wish I had it because it might be my last paper ticket stub ever.
Does make sense. Yeah.
But
you could probably print one.
yeah. But
a 3D
so like they were all out of order, and so now people have taken to that other side. It's just become the garbage can. People
Oh.
are just stacking shit over there because there is no garbage can. There's like fast food bags and all kinds of shit just piled up over there.
Wow.
Which really should just kind of be your clue. Like like all right, there's literal garbage piled up outside this place.
Yeah.
So anyway, all the technical stuff aside, I sit down and I start to enjoy the movie. People are talking during the previews, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
These, and I'm going to use the phrase correctly. No, I'm actually not. They're not millennials. Millennials are about 30 now.
Probably.
They're sub-millennial. They're like
They're just young people.
yeah. They're the iGen, whatever the fuck we're calling them. The we never knew an internet. But the
Screen
time before the
kids.
internet. Yeah, I'm calling them iGen because it works because they're so fucking selfish. It's ridiculous. And also lowercase I. But
Fucking grandpa over here.
anyway, well, we're about to find out why. So they're talking over the theater, and they show that like the one fucking preview that's for an actual film, like that Ad Astra, the Brad Pitt space thing.
Yeah.
Like the one preview before this movie that looked like an actual film. They're like, I don't know, that looks like the kind of thing I'll just watch on Netflix whenever it comes out. and it's like they're just guffawing at like Stuber and all of these like generic. I have nothing against any of these, but it's just like they're guffawing at those.
Right.
But like the real thing that's like a film is just like no. So okay, fine, whatever. Everyone's a fucking critic about the upcoming movies. I don't give a shit. Then the movie starts, and at first they're just whispering amongst each other. You can hear it, but they're just. And then it gets louder, and then it gets louder, until they're full on. It's really only one of them. Like the guy is just kind of sitting there and he's letting his Funko Pop lady just act like she's recording a YouTube Reacts video.
Oh.
The whole fucking movie. Someone would say a line, and it's like, what? No. I mean, and it's like not even like nothing has happened. Just somebody's just read another line of dialogue that is not astounding, or it's just, I don't know, Charles, what do you think we should do? What? No. Oh. The whole fucking movie. Like nonstop. Constantly. Like a YouTube Reacts video. Like somebody was watching this thing and they're performing for somebody that isn't there.
Yeah.
I think there's some people need. There are just shitty people out there, of which this person obviously is a member of the shitty people society. But also, I think there is a distinct lack of exposure to seeing movies in a theater and the proper, like, I don't want to be like a fuck that. I do want to be. There's a way to watch a movie in the theater, and that is to laugh, cry, gasp. Occasionally, you might clap or go, "Oh!"
Yeah, when it's appropriate.
Do normal movie reaction things.
Sure.
Like
I'm not discouraging
I
that.
think that people are so used to watching movies in their house that they don't know how to act when
That's exactly
they
what it
go
is.
outside.
Yeah.
And this is a parenting problem.
Well, the thing that I don't understand, and this is the same thing I have not understood since the time that I abandoned movie theaters long ago, is that there has never once been any kind of positive portrayal of people talking during a movie. Like, there's not, like, oh, this stand-up did this routine about why it's cool to talk through a movie, or, there's never once been anything but utter fucking scorn for anyone who's talking during a movie. Like, ever. Like, there's never been anything but...
Seinfeld and the laser pointer. But you...
MST3K.
Well, yeah, but
that's not really...
No.
They're alone in the theater.
Right.
Seinfeld did it on multiple occasions where it was like, this is funny, but then like the whole point of Seinfeld is that they are the worst people on the face of the
Exactly.
planet. Do
Yes.
not be them.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
But I've just never. I mean, literally in one of the scary movies, they fucking murder someone who would not shut the fuck up during the movie.
Yeah.
And it's just, I've never understood this. I've never understood how anyone thinks that it's okay to go do it. And the only conclusion you can come to is that they don't think. That's the only
Right.
thing. And also because the theater won't do anything about it, so there's
Right.
no repercussions. And if you say something, you're suddenly the bad guy.
Right.
And I will never understand that either. I know it happened to you during
Absolutely.
but it's just like there were when I was going to the theater like 2 or 3 times a week before I finally bailed. There were instances where I was just like people behind me were talking, and I would turn around and go, "You can't do that the entire time. You have to stop talking."
I shut that shit down in Man of Steel about 30 seconds in.
Right. But I mean, it was just like then those people just become your mortal enemy for some reason, and they just start talking snidely about you. They're just like, well, this guy in front of us doesn't want us to talk. I guess we'll just have to keep talking. And it's like, the fuck is broken in your brain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean I feel myself like literally one of my favorite lines from anything Joss Whedon is in Firefly when he informs somebody that they're going to this special place that is reserved for child molesters and people that talk in the theater. So like that's I'm saying like
That's what I'm saying.
That's that level of like fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I mean it is like there are a few things in life that will send me into a fucking blind rage more than that. And I'm tired of continually experiencing that because
You've had a real
you
bad
can
run of it
say
lately.
fucking white knighting or whatever. I don't give a shit what you want to call it. I am the guy who will say something and I'm sitting there angry, afraid that I'm going to get stabbed, not really giving a fuck at this point if
Yeah.
I get stabbed. Like me wanting to stab somebody. And it's the entire point of going to a theater is to escape and you're carrying your bullshit in with you and making other people suffer it. So like just
Yeah.
like I said, it's not a church going experience. I don't expect you to sit there and be quiet. Like honestly, seeing Endgame the second time was kind of depressing because everyone was just, I don't know if it was like they were tired, if it was a second viewing, it was like fucking church in there and it was
Yeah.
annoying and like
It
I
didn't
said,
have that energy that you were
yeah,
hoping
the energy,
for.
like it was like remove that kid from the first time and give me all that energy again, minus that kid and minus my being angry not at the kid but the parents for bringing the kid. And like I said, everything else about that experience was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And then like when it finally broke the silence and someone like when whatever cool thing happened and somebody exclaimed a popular phrase that I'm still dancing around in-game spoilers, okay?
Sure.
When cool thing happened and a popular character showed up who was previously presumed no longer in the franchise and they said their famous catchphrase thing and they like that was the only breaking of the silence for the whole movie. I was
Yeah.
like, thank fucking Christ that someone is alive and paying attention to this movie.
Yeah.
Because it was like, how can you not react to this shit? Like, it's the two sides of it. Like,
Yep.
like there's the been there, done that. Nothing impresses me anymore. And then there's just the like, oh, everyone's obviously here to hear me talk about this. And it's like, no, we're not. We don't know. Like, I really want to lean over and be like, the guy you're sitting with doesn't even care what the fuck you're saying. Like, literally no one on the face of the planet gives a shit what you're saying right now, including the guy that you're maybe dating or whatever. In fact, he probably wants you to shut the fuck up more than anyone else in here.
But he knows it'll be a fight.
Yeah. But, maybe
And
you
he
have
will be the bad guy.
magic pussy. I don't know. So,
Not worth it.
yeah.
What further question?
Yeah.
What day did you see this on?
It was a Tuesday. So, again, possibly my own fault because it's a discount day. I didn't think about it. The discount,
Look, I'm not trying to like
Discount
paint
day
this
is
as
still expensive.
I'm not trying to paint this as like your
Well,
problem.
yeah.
I will say that, and this is again not like I'm not trying to take any of the blame away from the people who are doing this.
I didn't
Your
think about it.
tolerance for it has, you could chart it in the last like year has
Sharply.
precipitously dropped.
Yeah.
Fucking Porky Pig.
I
over here. I'm gonna-
I will go ahead and make it.
Stop speaking
I will make
forever.
an asterisk right here. I will go see Hobbs and Shaw with you as long as we get the fuck up on a Saturday or Sunday and go to the earliest show time. I don't want to go to the grandma show.
Yeah. That's kind of what I've had to resign myself to do.
That is all I will do. Like,
Yeah.
that is. I mean, that's why I say I'm not going to be hyperbolic and say I'm never setting foot in a theater again,
Right.
because they showed that preview again, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. My problem now is because, I stayed away from theaters for the longest time, and now will only go if it is some sort of like spectacle event where it's I love fucking movies. I love going to the movies. I would go every week if I knew that people would shut the fuck up. If I knew I wasn't going to potentially have a miserable experience. Because what happens is every time I go to the movie, and this happened for Godzilla, this happened for John Wick 3, and this happened just anything, I sit there and I am such a bundle of nerves that someone is going to be the problem. And the entire time my brain is just like audio searching the theater to figure out who's going to be the troublemaker.
Yep.
I'm just so nerve-wracked throughout like the first third of the movie that it's a miserable experience.
Yep.
Because I'm like,
right there with you.
someone's going to ruin this for me. I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to be mad. And then it takes me a while to relax and go, oh, this is a good crowd. This crowd isn't a bunch of assholes, thank God. And then I slowly start to unwind. And then by the end of the movie, it's just like, I need a fucking nap. I have just been on a roller coaster of emotions. And that shouldn't be what movies are.
Right.
I mean, they should be, but in a good way.
Exactly.
We
Well,
need to find a way to remediate you guys.
Here's the other side of the coin. I don't think the discount days factor into it anymore. With the AMC A-list thing,
You think a lot of people are using that?
absolutely. I literally was in one movie.
Well, when your choices in that neighborhood are get shot or go to the movies and get shot,
Yeah.
so you
I mean,
go to
well,
the movies and get
well,
shot.
I mean, thankfully, like, movies started and it stopped, but it was guy on cell phone talking loudly, like, full volume on the cell phone, so you could hear both ends of the conversation.
Right.
in
you
the
know?
theater?
Yeah, but before the
God,
movie
that's
started,
so fucking tacky.
before the movie started, like, and it may
Even-
it may
but
have
even-
it may have even been on speakerphone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even in the theater,
Sure.
before the movie
anywhere.
has started, if the lights are still full up.
I'm amending that to anywhere.
It's-
Nobody wants to hear you talk on the phone.
No, I was in.
one side or the other,
Well, we were
yeah.
in the fucking pita pit today. We're in the fucking pita pit today.
Hey.
And this woman walks in, just having a conversation on her fucking phone.
Well, the three of us were instantly like, fuck you.
Like, just full volume, having this conversation, trying to sell something to some poor fucking sap. Annoying as all hell. Just walks in. She didn't even say anything to any of the employees
No.
there. She kept talking the entire time. She walked in, grabbed her item, completed her transaction, and was still talking as she was walking out.
That's why I'm saying the idea.
There are some supreme assholes out there, and if you are one of those people, punch yourself in the face right now.
Well, as I was going to say, when I was overhearing the conversation, it was basically like, "Oh, I'm on I was in the Dolby Cinema or whatever," and the fancy. I used to be like, "All right, I'll spring for the Dolby or whatever that costs like $4 more because it's gonna weed people out."
Yes.
I
Yes.
used to I'd be like, I know it's being shitty and elitist, but I'm like,
I don't care.
it's gonna be what keeps like the riffraff out, just in general.
Yes.
It used to be, but
It's
this
people
person
who want to see want to see
People
exactly.
movies
who
the
pay
best
a
way possible.
premium to
Right.
see the movie
I mean-
and aren't just going to fucking socialize.
Right. Or just like it's hot outside, so this is
Yeah.
air conditioned, whatever. But this person was like, I'm in the Dolby Theater, and it was like somebody's like, you're in the Dolby Theater, and he was like, yeah, I got the A-list, I don't care. And I was just like,
Oh.
fuck.
That's what it
like
is.
it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally like it's a free pass to like you could just go. Like everybody can go to everything, and it's all the same now. It's communized the like socialized the
Modified,
the-
yeah.
it's made it that, and it's like and it just makes like it's convenient, but it also makes like the movies like people just think of it as like outdoor Netflix. Like it's all I can consume, basically, and
I'm already paying for it.
I'm already paying for it, so who gives a fuck? Like it's I might as well just do
Yeah.
all the dumb shit I do when I put Netflix on in the background.
This is why I go to the indie theater, and if I have to go to the big theater, it's for one of the big movies. Like,
I don't know. I feel like now just like all I can do is be safe is like go see like the latest fucking European A24 whatever thing.
See Jodorowsky movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there were, I would.
Yeah. And I feel it's this weird, I don't know what the phrase, double-edged sword, whatever the phrase is that theaters don't want to do anything about it
Oh, no.
because those are people paying to come see a movie. But people are stopping going to the theater because of this.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's no quantifiable way to measure that, there's just this general sentiment that the theater experience sucks. Theaters are just like, well, we'll make the chairs comfier, and that if that's why I wish to God we had a draft house here.
Oh God,
because
if we
they
had a
will
draft
kick your
house.
fucking ass out.
Yeah, I mean that's the next logical step. If you want people like that, that's the thing. Is like you're inviting a crowd in who doesn't care and doesn't respect your property. Like they're literally damaging your property because they're shitty.
Yep.
And so you're driving out people who actually care about the thing. Look, I understand. Like it is a weird like give and take. Like you've got to just generally keep out the riffraff because it's like they're not buying your sodas and things like they're not spending the extra money, generally speaking, to go here and like have the full experience the way you're really actually making your money.
Yeah, but the thing about that is that in recent years when there have been people who have been intolerable in a theater that I've been in are there with like their entire family and they bought every fucking thing they could have bought at the snack bar. It's like, how do you have this much disposable income and you're fucking terrible? Like, how are you spending $200 to go to a movie and fuck it up for everybody?
Despite what they said is when we were kids, crime does actually pay.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed at the money that people will plop down to go to a movie and not fucking pay attention to it.
Well, I mean,
That's part of the reason that I never understood why people want to go to a movie in a group. Like 4 or 5 people, fine.
Sure.
But people who are like, "Hey, 16 of us are going to see this fucking movie." No, I don't want to go.
Amend that to anything more. Nothing should ever be more than like 5-6 people max. Period.
This is excluding BMFcast exclusive live events.
Oh, absolutely. The
No,
more the merrier.
I'm saying like
We're
I
good
understand.
theater goers.
going to a restaurant with more than 6 people is insufferable.
Sin. That's a sin. It's a fucking sin.
Insufferable.
Yeah.
People say, "Hey, we're all going out for dinner for my birthday." I'm like, "All right, have fun.
Right.
See ya."
Because I'm
See
just
you
going
when
to be
you get
stuck
back.
talking to the person to my right.
But a movie is not a social experience.
Nope.
Like we go to movies together because we want to talk about it immediately after we walk out of the theater.
Yes.
Or
Not
we want
during.
to like elbow each other during the movie and go,
Yeah. Or in the case like Fast Five, stand up and go, "Fuck yes!"
I mean, we've said some of the most magical theater experiences have been audience interaction.
Sure.
Positive,
Right.
Like that little kid during Pacific Rim when all the shit went down, going, "Wow!" And it's like, "Fuck yeah, little kid, your mind just got blown." Like that was amazing.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
life is gonna suck after this moment.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna be as cool as that moment right there.
Reacting to emotional moments in film is part of the experience.
Sure.
I mean, you don't get mad when people laugh. You don't get
No.
mad when people cry. Hell, halfway, most of Endgame was like trying to measure the crowd's reaction to things because you wanted to also experience that emotion in case you weren't for whatever reason.
Like
but
I said, the fact that the soundtrack dropped out, I hated that it became funny to me just hearing all the,
yeah, yes, Yeah.
like when the no music and everything is like, I'm feeling it, but then I turned around to laughter because it was like, just listen to that, sob
Yeah.
echo behind me.
yeah.
Anyway.
But when just people go and don't pay attention, it's like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Yeah, pulling out your phones, whatever. Just like, no,
"Is that Chappie?"
that's Chappie.
A woman in front of me at Avengers did pull out her phone like 3 or 4 times. I was lucky that I was so invested in what was on the screen and there was so much light coming from the screen because it was a massive, 75 story or whatever screen that I saw that fucking movie on. It was surprisingly not distracting because the movie was so engrossing. Had it been anything else, I would have been like, "Look, bitch, put your phone away, or I'm gonna put you away."
But that's the other thing also is that if you don't go, and I've talked about this before, if you don't go see the movie in the first or second week it's out, you are shifted to the
The cell phone
12-seat
crew.
theater
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
like fucking cardboard projectors and a cell phone projecting the movie, and so you hear and see everything.
I mean, also people like, please learn how the brightness on your phone works. Like, you know how much more battery you'll get if it's not set on 20,000 lumens.
Turn on the auto brightness.
Yeah, mine's auto. It just
Well,
like
It'll
Even
show
still.
at a decently low light in a darkened place. It's not a fucking flashlight. It's
I know, but people. I mean, I'm making generalities at this point. This
Okay.
is still on my soapbox, and I don't have to have truths or anything to back it up. But I feel like too many of those people are like go in the settings and are like, no, don't tell me what to do. Like, no, seriously,
you're
like, don't
right.
tell me how bright my phone could be, and
Yeah.
it's like it's always on like the highest setting constantly, no matter
Nah,
where
but
they
you
are.
know, the cool thing is people on the live stream can see this, but not everybody else. Like,
I know.
if you pull down your little menu, you can leave it on auto and then jack the brightness up if you really need that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's bright.
Yeah.
And it'll go back. It'll go back by itself in like a minute.
Yeah, eventually it's just
it'll
like,
be fine.
no, you really
I
don't.
realize
need
we've been doing this all on the wide camera, but yeah, I mean, if you want, I will teach you how to. You can make a triple tap, dim your phone on the iPhone.
Ooh, sick.
Yeah,
What?
it's it. You just
Is
have
it
to-
just
You have to do a little trick in the accessibility settings, but like I've had that since like the first time they ever had that in the accessibility settings. So anytime
gonna
I'm in,
let's see if my phone explodes when I triple tap.
like anytime I'm in somewhere remotely dark, I'm just like I immediately like triple tap and like just
Yeah.
just look it up. The triple tap to darken your phone. It's
What the fuck did I just do?
Triple tap to darken the phone.
I think it's
Anyway.
calling the NSA.
probably.
Oh, your handler is like, oh,
Yeah.
he's figured out how
But
to.
yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure
okay.
there's some trick you can do to like auto like have a shortcut to darken an Android too.
Yeah, you go into KitKat and tell it to.
You just swipe
Yeah,
the
you
fucking
just-
screen
You just
down and
tap
do
your
the
Ted
thing.
Nougat and
Yep,
Yeah.
Ted
Kit
Nougat.
Kat over to Oreos and
Yeah.
stuff.
You tap Candy Crush twice
Yeah, you
and
get some leaping llamas.
side load
I know
some
I'm hopping over to a
ROMs.
bunch of that.
Silence ROMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, some APKs.
Yeah.
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 Sick.
I knew it was a good day because I didn't have to use my APK. But anyway, yeah. So
Anyway, don't be a fuck.
yeah, don't be a
ass.
fuck. All that soapbox, I'm bringing it back around for a quick thing. I watched one more movie, but this
Okay.
was
We don't
a
have
whole-
fucking time. Hurry
This
up,
this
man.
was in a home experience,
go
and
home.
it's a great movie. And you've been telling me for like 2 years to watch it, and you were absolutely right. San Andreas.
Oh hell yeah!
San Andreas is one of the best disaster movies I have ever seen in my life.
Yep,
Wow.
That movie is
Ringing endorsement.
fucking amazing.
it's dope.
It is like, all right. First off, if you're one of those people who's like, look, if you watch Independence Day and you're like, yeah, totally realistic. Fuck you. No, it's not. Like, like if you've seen a disaster movie, you should have a certain level of like, either it's deep impact and it's like this is like deep and we're gonna make you sad, or it's like it's right there in the title, bitches. But like, but most disaster movies are like ludicrous, and like you're
Oh, I
like,
like him.
yeah, they are, and just it's so good. Like the
Yeah.
dumbest things happen, and you're like, if you let your brain go, like, but what? Like he dereliction of duty. Where he didn't save all the other people. It's like, dude, shit was going down. Him, The Rock, helping going back to his job or whatever wasn't going to make a fucking bit of difference.
Right.
He's going to go save his family.
Yep.
Like, and it's just like, let's say there's a billion and one things in any disaster movie that if you're like, you can get hung up on pedantic shit are going to ruin the experience for you. Like, you know, CG wolves or cones of cold or whatever in Day After Tomorrow. You know,
Shut up.
like I'm saying, like
Those are all great.
no, that's why I was looking that way because
Yeah,
he
fucking
does
hate
not
that
like that.
movie.
Movie.
I know he should.
I bet you. No, I'm not gonna.
If you watched it now, you'd fucking love it. You'd be like, "This and the core are the greatest things ever."
Don't you dare.
What?
Don't you
He
dare.
loves the
core
core
is
but hates
amazing.
the Day After Tomorrow.
They're both good.
I know the rules. Like I know how this works. I've been here a
They're
long
both
time.
good for the same
They,
reasons.
they are. I'm not disagreeing. I even like 2012, even as stupid as that fucking movie is.
Yeah, I don't like 20.
It just has one. It has one too many acts. That's the only problem with 2012.
They get on the
Does it have-
boat and you're
yeah,
like,
2012
"What?"
act?
There's still like another whole act. Okay,
Yeah.
right. But no, San Andreas is efficient and does what it needs to do and gets the fuck out, and it's awesome.
It's the rock you
Also,
want.
also like, I wish they'd figure out how old that what's her face is, Alexandra Daddario.
Yes.
Because like, if that's the Rock's daughter, he had her when he was 14.
Yep.
And the next, it's like they're quasi love interests in Baywatch.
Yes.
And it's like, and I saw True Detective, so please,
yeah.
just for the love of God, figure out how old she is.
Yep.
She's, and for the record, she's like 4 or 5 years older than me, or
Yeah.
younger than me.
Okay.
It's like it's just constantly funny to me. That's like
She's got weird eyes.
she's got amazing eyes, but
She's got weird eyes.
whatever.
Yeah, but her eyes aren't down there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I still think the best tweet I ever read was after that episode of True Detective was on that President Obama tweeted about watching it, and she was like, "The president's seen my boobs."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, way to go."
yeah. But anyway, it's a great movie.
It is. San Andreas is so gloriously done.
One day I'll watch it.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's, I mean, if it helps, it's the same director as Rampage.
Okay.
Like, it's,
All right. I'm in.
yeah, that's
And
why it
it's
was.
better than Rampage.
Yeah, it is.
As
I
good as Rampage
I like
is.
Rampage, but San Andreas is better.
Yep.
San Andreas is real solid.
100%.
Like, people say what you want them to say in times that you want them to say it,
Mm-hmm.
and do things exactly what you're like. Why don't you just? Okay, they're doing that. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie is with you.
Yeah, it
You're
really
like,
is.
hey, you should really. Oh, all right. Yeah.
It wasn't my fault. Wheel, 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 wheel. Helicopter away.
Yeah, like I said, we know we're suckers for disaster movies. We've done a few of them on Extra, but
have.
yeah,
It's
like,
a good
San
one.
Andreas is way up there. And yeah, Rock's being the Rock you want.
Okay.
100%.
Yep.
Skyscraper's good too. If you haven't seen that.
Yes. All of these things. The Rock is great.
Yeah, he really is.
Now that we got him out of his goddamn Tooth Fairy mode, he's fucking great.
He really is.
I think people just have to go through it. Go through it.
Yeah. Who's his wife in Skyscraper? It wasn't Carla Gugino again, was
I
it?
believe it was, yeah. I think so.
I feel like it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just thought about that.
Sure.
I don't know. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was Nev Campbell.
What?
It was Nev Campbell. in
Nev
Skyscraper.
Campbell and Skyscraper. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Same haircut.
Yeah. It's interchangeable.
Yes.
Anyway, but that's all. I just wanted to end on a positive note. You were right. San Andreas is awesome, and I've been missing out.
San Andreas also has Paul Giamatti.
He does.
Paul Giamatti in a fucking rock disaster movie.
Yeah. All right.
Uh-huh.
All right. You got me.
Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, she's in it for a hot minute. To the point where I was like, "Is that Kylie Minogue?" And then it was like,
Oh, see ya.
I was like, "Well, it could have been." Totally wasn't.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
So speaking of ending the episode, contact information. Why don't I do that? BMFcast.com. The buttons on the right-hand side are finally working again because
Yay.
Chuck is the master of the
Nah.
internet.
I just rebuilt the code.
He is the
Yeah.
I learned to code.
You hacked the
You-
Gibson.
you did.
did.
Good job.
Yep, thank you.
Way to go. So click all of those for our socials. God, my speech is really getting fucked up lately. I think I am dying.
Godspeed.
Thanks. I hope I die with Godspeed. So
The Great Godspeed.
yes.
In his younger and more venerable years, he was feeling better.
Jesus. Nice one, Chuck. So click on the buttons on the right-hand side. If you want to email us, it's bmf@bmfcast.com. If you want to call us, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. Donate to our Patreon. I was going to say something dirty, but I wasn't. I was going to repeat the butthole thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But
People have probably heard that a few times now.
yeah, probably a few times. So patreon.com/BMFcast, that is where you can give us some money monthly for some exciting, fresh, hot, sweet bonus content that I will personally guarantee that it will tickle your fancy. If not, you can try to get your money back.
Yeah.
Also, we still have T-shirts left, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Handful of shirts.
BearSuitStudios.BigCartel.com. You can get yourself a T-shirt in sexy black with sexy sparkly silver print. It is awesome, designed by a good friend of the podcast, Tobias. I think that's about it. Email, call, tweet, subscribe, like, rate, review, all that crap.
Smash that bell.
Yeah, fuck that bell up.
Yep. Hit it so hard it's like the Liberty Bell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crack that shit.
Crack
Crack
that fucking
that.
bell.
Crack that bell. I don't know.
While iTunes is still a thing, I guess you can rate us there.
Please do.
We are at the highest percentage out of 5
I don't think we are.
that we have ever been.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're at I think 4.8 out of 5 stars. So that's cool. Going out on high note will be new and high notable.
All this stuff is carrying over to whatever new thing.
No, it isn't. No,
they're not going to scrub all these.
They're
No,
gonna
they're
start all
gonna-
over again.
no, they're
It's-
gonna
it's
fucking tank it.
Thunderdome all over again.
Cool.
We all have to scrap for
Yeah.
who's going to be the winner.
Yeah.
Pod scraps. Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna have to get our application in first, so we're new and notable
Nice.
on iTunes. The
Let's-
deuce.
Volume 2, Episode 1 of the BMFcast.
Season 2.
Yeah. We're so close to like hitting the monumental number like 500, and we'll
Yeah.
just reboot this shit like Marvel did in the 90s.
Yeah. It's like, one.
That'd be good. Anyway, do all of those things. Give us money, tweet at us, call us, email us, buy a shirt. Buy a shirt. Buy a motherfucking shirt.
Word.
Have a nice day.
Cool. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And for Mackie, this is BMFcast out. Happy Pride Month.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It is.
We've been meaning to say that all month, but
Yeah.
now we say it now.
We were just waiting to see if it was a happy one.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have gone real
Yeah.
bad.
It's more like a Mazel Tov instead of a...
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's good.
Yes.
Hey.
Mazel Tov, Pride Month.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, the Jacksonville Public Library managed to fuck up Pride Month.
God damn it.
What? How? I didn't hear this. I don't read news.
I will tell you because I'm close to the story.
Oh, okay.
So the public library for a while has been hosting some LGBTQ related events, and there was going to be a storybook Pride Prom event at the at one of the branches of the library, and
Wasn't huge. It was going to be
no,
about 100
it's going to be 100. It's a Pride Prom for 100 teenagers.
Teenagers. We're not talking
And-
about children.
yeah.
We're talking about teenagers.
Teenagers. And so a representative from one of the there's a charity called Jasmine here. So there's going to be like a table from them, a table from some other like support sort of things, and a friend of mine who is a drag queen was going to have a table there just to be there, like a meet and greet, talk to the kids. So this conservative activist blog / personality caught wind of this, that my friend was going to be at the table, or going to have a table there, and was like, oh, look at this pervert who's going to be doing this performance in front of all these children and doing all these sexual things and being this and being that, and basically making up out of whole cloth some sort of
As they do.
perverted narrative.
Yep.
And posted some pictures that were mildly racy, but were from like performance promotional stuff. And this is not going to be a performance. This was just going to be an appearance. She's just going to be there. So that person got all of their followers. This activist blog, the woman doesn't live in Jacksonville or anywhere nearby. She was from like Fuckholistan.
It was outrage for the sake of outrage.
It was conservative outrage because they're, fucking idiots.
Have to win.
And so then a local conservative Christian activist got a hold of it and sent out an email to have all of their followers call the library. And so it turned into this whole big thing, and a bunch of people were calling in support of it, and a bunch of people were calling in not in favor of it. And apparently there were some threats made. And so the library director, Tim Rogers, I know you're out there, and fuck you, Tim Rogers, said that due to safety concerns, they were going to shut it down.
I mean,
Like the whole thing?
The whole thing. Cancel it.
So not just like...
Cancel it.
Not just ask nicely if the person... your friend do not attend. I mean, not that. I mean,
Cancel
Yeah,
it.
well,
not
that,
that. Not that it's like it's a. That's not. That's a shitty enough thing to do in and of itself. But at least
correct, he did not contact her and
Right.
ask her
Right.
to, maybe not perform because she was a firebrand, or what, she was the focal point of all
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Didn't try
Right.
to get
not
the-
even like say don't perform. Just be like, rather than this whole thing get scrapped, would you mind bowing out?
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
Yeah.
She even offered, and it was
Yeah.
declined.
Sure.
I understand.
They didn't get the mayor or the city council or the
No.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or anybody like that involved. They just canceled it. This
On one hand, I understand the opinion of, oh God, this other side is crazy. There could be a situation. The library is hanging on by a thread, and we don't need injured children in the news because of us, even though it's not because of them.
our library's not doing that bad.
Well, okay.
We were voted one of the best library before this new library director came on. We were voted one of the best libraries in the country.
I know. I'm not
library
defending the
systems in the
dude.
country.
I'm just saying I get the like, oh God, this thing blew up and we can't stand by things because we have to appease both sides, so therefore just end it, which doesn't appease both sides. It appeases one side and fucks over the other side.
But it's not. See, the problem that I have is when somebody takes one of these cowardly statements, like we're doing it for safety. We protect between 60 and 90,000 people every week for 17 weeks
Oh yeah,
during football season.
absolutely.
Let's say approximately 80,000 drunk assholes for 17 weeks.
Yeah.
We protect. Nobody dies.
Yeah.
Few people get injured because they fall downstairs or whatever. But if you're honestly telling me that you can't protect 100 kids in a library, and that you're not even going to try,
So
not even going to try.
only because I don't think I understood from the get-go. It's just, this is like prom like any other prom thing, right?
Yes.
It just happens to be social. Like when you mentioned library, I was like...
It's hosted by the library.
No, it threw me off. I was like, is that like... I don't know. People call things other things when it has nothing to do with the actual thing.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah, it's
whatever.
not like goth prom.
Yeah.
This
It's not
is-
like the BBC proms where it's a concert.
Yeah.
Sure, that's
this
what
is
I
a
meant. That's- okay.
This is a
This was a
dance.
basically
a dance,
a safe
a
space
social
dance.
get together.
Yep.
A safe space dance for
Yes.
people that might
Sure.
not be able to enjoy it in the normal setting.
Especially
Exactly.
considering most schools frown upon this
Sure.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
no,
you-
that's all. I just,
yeah. If a girl
Yeah.
goes in a suit, then
Right.
fucking Robert E. Lee High School loses their fucking mind.
that's all. I just was trying to understand.
Yeah.
It was. So I mean, the really the best thing to do would be contact somebody with a lot of money to rent out a private space and step in and save it.
You know what the amazing thing is? There has been such a giant outpouring of support for the Storybook Pride Prom. The charity that I mentioned, Jasmine stepped in. They weren't leading the event initially, but they stepped in and they are organizing. They have taken over organizing a new prom, and 4 local churches actually reached out and said, "Hey, we want you to have your event here."
Nice. Okay.
They have.
Okay. So
they've-
it's not dead in the water.
It is not dead in the water. So Jasmine is taking over the sort of the stewardship of it, and they're going to hold the event at the church at the same time on the same day that they had originally planned to, and they're getting in touch with everybody who bought tickets so that they know the venue change, and they're not making the location of the venue public.
Good.
But kudos to them. They know who they are out there, and they've done a good thing. But it's all going to go off, hopefully, without a hitch, except it's going to be a lot more work for the Jasmine folks because they didn't expect to have to do that. But anyhow, good ending to that story.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we started on that, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Who
night,
knows?
everybody.
anyway, that's my story about
Who knows how things happen? They
shitty
just-
things
they
going on
just
in my
happen,
town.
man. All right. I'm going to shut it down. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, good. Well, we said Happy Pride Month. That's what it was.
Happy
And then it was
Pride
like, and then it was Mazel Tov
Yeah.
because we did at the end.
Oh, yeah, and then-
it was like Pride Month, and oh yeah, about this thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Okay.
happy ending to the Pride Month
Right, yeah,
is
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Fista.